Hello, hello, and welcome. I, of course, am the host with the most, your game master, Adam. And we're going to have a fun session as the recap video. Fancy, I know. Kind of displayed. There's some things that happened in the last session and sessions prior that the party needs to be aware of and remember, and we want the viewers to be aware of too. I have a couple other things I want to dot in there, but before I do that, we're going to give a quick little shout out to Tabletop Audio. It's just a way to help enrich every experience that you have. I mean, imagine that that last session we had, that recap video, but without music, without ambience, without rain. These are things that just bring so much to your tabletop or your online experience. One of the things I want to highlight is that the party, after meeting with Aegis, had to go and wait in the king's quarters, or his waiting room, I guess I should say, and that the party's beat up. Some of them are unconscious. Some of them are hungry. For once, it wasn't one of James's characters, but it's a fun time to be had, and by fun, I don't mean for the party, but for them to enjoy their misery, we have to bring them on in. So let's do just that. Hello, welcome.
Hey,
Glad to be
you just
back.
had to point out the misery, huh?
Right?
Hey, look, it's why I brought you all in together, because misery loves company.
That we do.
Speaking of which, let's bring everyone in. So, Orlina, how we doing? What's going on? How we feeling?
Doing okay. How are we feeling? Alive? Barely. I feel like she barely made it, but yes. My name's Alicia. I'm playing the character Orlina. She is a quirky half-elf from the elven kingdom of Orvathius. She stands 5'10" tall, with long, dark, shiny hair and bright violet-colored eyes you can use to see in the dark, which helped somewhat last time, a little bit. Tragedy befell her at a young age. Both of her parents were murdered, leaving her an orphan. And it was a time after that. No, her father being a great healer, her mother being a baker, she kind of put those two together, found out she had an affinity for baking herself, and that she could imbue her baked goods with magical properties. For now, it's just mostly been healing. She wants to kind of figure out more ways that she can help aside from just healing, but we're not that far in life yet. So since she's baking, she always has snacks. She's always eating something, but you can never tell. She left Orvathius to try to find a specific herb that she needed to create what she would think, I would hope, is her best baked good. She's something that would empower her to avenge her parents. And hopefully she's on the right path to get there. She believes that she is. Hopefully she still is. It's been a long time coming. Getting there, she's met a lot of people along the way. She's lost people along the way. Hopefully she's going the right way.
Yeah, well, we'll find out. We will indeed. You got to get that back fixed, but before we do that, we got to get the rest of the party here.
That bad.
Hey, Sequoia, you were a little
my
different last
goodness.
session.
Oh my God, yeah. Thanks for filling in. Maybe you should fill in for me more often. I had the best roles ever in my.
Her accent was
But-
flawless.
Oh my God, all the voices that you do, and you couldn't do mine. I mean, come on.
I got it once.
Wow.
You got it once.
no
Once
other-
it
I
too,
got it
yeah,
once.
and then never again. And then never again.
It was great.
The hard life.
All right.
But
My name
Floor
is
is yours.
Jasmine. I play Sequoia. She is a half pixie little orphan that was raised by Hedera, the queen of the forest, in the Forbidden Forest, just outside of Ambervale. She is actually 4'11". You made her a little bit taller last week, so that's fine. She's got big girl energy. She's got olive skin, short dark hair. She wears lightweight clothing. She can use earth magic that she was trained in by Hedera that she learns, but she does have some extra magic, elemental magic, that she is not fully tapped into yet and doesn't really know how to use because it is her magic is kind of tied to her emotions, and based off of what happened to her last time, I'm sensing that some of that untapped chaotic magic was what kind of took over. So, well, I'm still not entirely sure what happened. I know a little bit, but not everything. So that was quite that was quite an
It was
episode.
something.
But
It was
it was something. Definitely.
It was
what
it was
it
exciting.
was. Only time will tell. But let's bring in our next hero, our next adventurer, Tavish. How we doing?
Hey, we're doing great. Well, maybe not. I'm doing great. Tavish is, well, knocked out. Good evening. My name is Ian. I'm going to be playing Tavish. Tavish is a 6-foot-tall man wearing, well, currently rent armor, as the last session pretty much destroyed it. He carries a heavy sword, and he tends to move with purpose, and with some thought. But I think actions speak louder than words, and at the moment, we'll let Tavish's actions in the past episodes and the upcoming episode define how you view him. So,
Yeah, move with purpose. He does swim with purpose. A little less so.
A little hard to do with heavy armor on.
It is true. It is true. But we have one last hero, one last adventurer, boldly going where only a few have gone before, and that is Mr. Epsilon. How we doing?
Doing all right. You know, lost his fancy sword. Now he's got some sword bits left from that thing. My name is James, and tonight I'm gonna be playing Epsilon. Epsilon's a half dragon human from a community called Green Grove Watch. He's 6 feet tall. He has fangs, claws, a tail, and horns that crown his head. Watch is this retirement community for, you know, great heroes, and he's on this journey here at Ambervale, trying to become a hero, and he in this last episode he tried to live up to that, but you know, there was there's only so much he could do, and he almost died. So now he's just out here just trying to figure out what to do with himself now, I guess.
Look, he's had some ups and he's had some downs, and he found out that lightning can in fact strike way more than once in a location.
Oh,
But hey, it was special lightning. You know, we'll give it a break, right? We all love special lightning here.
special spot.
Look here. Jasmine's afraid of
Yeah.
lightning, so
Yeah, I was like, I don't know who this we is. But that we don't include me.
yeah.
So as a
Perfect.
quick preamble, for this session, no gold will be deducted for sleep, food, or stay. So everyone will remain at their current totals. I have that written down on a sheet somewhere, and I will find that later because it's not that important. We are going to have a little bit of a special opener here. So we wanted to include all of the party members in it. So we will not be doing our traditional sidebars. However, each one is, aimed at a particular individual. So we'll give each of you a little bit of a heads up, so that way chatter isn't too much during any one person's kind of sidebar, if you will. And we're gonna have some fun. The other thing, this one's more for the audience, is there's going to be a little bit of an opener here where I'm going to go through some details and whatnot. Off screen, the party was all asked a questionnaire, and then secretly in the deep dungeons in which that myself and our show director Derek roll dice, some off-screen dice were rolled to determine how some things go. So you'll get to see kind of all of that unfold, and just a little heads up to how things work. But without further ado, it is time for our session to fully begin. So let's get it started.
I'm afraid.
As Epsilon
Slightly excited.
realizes he doesn't want to keep poking and prodding at the unconscious Tavish on the ground. He sits back and he realizes how tired he is himself. He exchanges a few words with Orlena. The two of them kind of try to continue a conversation for a bit, but the aches, the pains, he looks down at his palms. They're bloody red from his sword exploding in his hands. Orlena, in this calmed state, really feels that something's just wrong with her back. It feels both raw and bleeding, but cold and hot. It feels like it's almost bubbling and churning. The pain just starts to get too much as the adrenaline fades. Sequoia, very pleased with herself, allows herself just to slip off into a sleep. Look, they'll wake me when they need me. And of course, Tavish is still KO'd. Epsilon and Orlena try to keep their wits about them for as long as they can, but as they lose track of time sitting in this room, and the quiet really sets in, they both too fall asleep.
It's been a long day. All right.
As the party members, each one of you have these weird flashes, these weird visions of you in a chair, of the king, of Angwyn's there, Aegis is there, Neophytos is there, the captain's there, questions are being asked at you. You feel both like awake and asleep as you like blink your eyes open and then feel like you fall back into this sleep deprived mess. It feels both calm and conversational, yet hostile and interrogative. And the party, each one of you relinquishes information, but you couldn't, if asked, you couldn't tell exactly what you said. The next thing, the last memory you have is being laid down in your bed, in your room. A deeper level of sleep overtakes you in this newfound comfort. Familiar smells, the light chatter of the town bustling around you, other than Epsilon's case, as the room is completely silent and the bed is very soft.
Not for
Boy.
long.
And that's when, Orlena, you begin to toss and turn a little bit as you're staring into the blackness of the inside of your eyelids, and then you realize, no, I'm awake. I could get up, right? I could. And then you see gray. This nothingness, this expanse that just goes on. And even though you're not making a sound, you know if you did, it would echo. As this energy, this reverberation feels haunted, feels hollow. And then everything starts to shake. It begins to vibrate. It begins to move. Goosebumps ripple through your body. Hair stands up down on the back of your neck. You feel completely on alert, but you don't know why. And then you hear this rumbling voice. We'll find you. And you are met with a vision of something far beyond your wildest nightmares, screaming through this hollowed place. It seems to both create an existence around it as it shatters into pieces, into this hazy fog of debris and chunks. And then you hear, Orlena!
Damn it.
Yeah.
Freaking mindful.
And then your dream fades. and you're back to staring at the inside of your eyelids.
The hell?
Sequoia,
Oh dear.
you feel yourself hit a level of sleep that you haven't had in realistically weeks. I mean, it would have been before the whole event within the heart of the forest. I mean, you've slept, but have you really, truly rested? And then you hear this voice. Hey, you, wake up. And you begin to open your eyes and you see your room around you and you hear, whoa. Okay, not all the way. Just wake up enough. And you feel this sharp prodding on your forehead. And you see a small bird. You don't know what that was, do you? Do you even know who I am? You have to remember me, right?
Adolfo.
No, good. So, I don't know how to say this, because I didn't think it was real. But that thing we just saw in that city, that was Hedera. I know it. You might not have seen it with your eyes, but this is what I saw. And his eyes glow, and you see
Hadera the lightning thief.
But it's weird because that definitely wasn't our Hedera. We're gonna have to find out more. Well, you're gonna have to find out more. I can't go anywhere that you don't go. But, Sequoia, I just want you to know, you're not alone. But for now, rest, child. Rest. And you fade into a deep sleep, well earned and not experienced in quite some time.
I'm gonna cry.
I was gonna say she about to cry now. Look what you did. We just got here.
We haven't even gotten like 10 minutes in, and you're gonna make people cry,
Tavish.
bruh.
He knew
Oh,
he knew what
God.
he was doing.
He sure did. Oh my god.
Tavish, this is one of the most bizarre feelings that you've felt in an extremely long time. As you've not been this taxed, this exhausted, this burnt out, this de-energized, that you are laying in a bed and you would rather be nowhere else. It's a safeness, a warmth that just has eluded you. As you shift, you can tell your armor is still on you. But you feel the blanket's warmth, even though you know you don't. And then you hear in the background the clattering, the chatter of people, very loud. And your eyes begin to water a little bit as the sun is so bright over the city of Scone's Rest. The people are happy. They go about their day and they're living in this prosperity. Their city has just been named capital of Aurelia. And the days are long and the days are bright. Yes, there's their issues, as all cities, all kingdoms have, but no issue that can't be persevered through, no issue that can't be just the day's good. You just don't care. You put your work in, and then the people seem a little less happy. It's heavier. It's more industrial. It's they're worked. They still have their pride, but there's a level of like, what are we working towards? What are we working for? And you hear, the time's coming up. Your side of the deal is soon to be recognized. I presume you're ready. You hear yourself answer, but your voice seems hollow and distant from you, as if you're listening to yourself answer and not answering of your own accord. Good. Good. And that flash, blinding, horrific. You hear the screams, the heaviness, the weight of sorrow and dismay, of disgust, as buildings burn, as cities fall and crumble into dust. The people whose trust was so high, whose joy was so bountiful, whose work paid for so much, all removed in an instant. And you just hear, and so begins a new age. An age of darkness. And the last things you hear are a small boy's words. You recognize him, his name, at the tip of your tongue. You could almost see his face, but you just can't get it to unblur. He reaches out to you underneath a pile of rubble, and his hand barely clasps yours, and he goes, I don't blame you. And you watch him perish as his hand weakens around yours, and you feel that grip of life fade.
Damn.
Epsilon. It's cold.
Making everybody cry today.
He's doing his
You're-
best today.
You feel this hard, emotionless, soulless floor beneath your hands as you push yourself from it. It's such a sterile room, despite its grotesque nature. All around you, this horrid light, this putrid smell, this almost laboratory-like feel as you examine the room. You see these bizarre human-looking creations in vats. As small minnow-like creatures look like they're sewing entrails and organs together. They lie there blank and unmoving. Hearts beat in jars and almost the floor and spores around you as you walk down this awful laboratory of sorts. You get to the end of the hallway, and then you hear a click. First, you go through your head, what am I hearing? And then another, and another, and you realize them to be the sounds of high heels hitting this soulless, tiled glass floor. And you hear this voice. What a sweet, sweet boy.
Boy.
Oh, hell no.
And you turn around and you see this standing before you.
What in the world?
Ah!
This
What is
woman,
that?
almost artistic looking in her design, human yet not, elongated limbs, this spider-like form following in her wake. It has this small offshoot on the back side of it that lays more of these spore-like creatures, these entities, as she walks towards you. Oh, well, not bad, but there's room for improvement.
Improvement.
Oh,
And she
hell
reaches
no.
out to touch your face, and you feel paralyzed, petrified to move. And as her hand is just about to touch the cheek,
Ah!
she folds her fingers in and gives your face a light backhanded stroke. Not bad.
Not bad.
God, no, I don't like that.
And then you wake up from your dream in a and just as soon as you wake up and look around the room, you feel yourself get lightheaded and fall back into your bed, and sleep is resumed. The next morning, each of you wake up as well rested as you could be. Orlina, as you get out of bed, you feel yourself peel to get up, and as you turn around and look on your bed, there's an almost snake skin film left where you lay in the exact imprint of your back.
Gross.
And you
Okay.
reach around and touch your back to the best of your ability, and it feels like new skin, unmarred, unbroken, uncut, undamaged. And you look at this weird, scabbed, pustule mess that you've left on the bed, and it just looks like you just shed your skin. As each of you make it down into the kitchen, you may now have some control over your players. Your days are as normal as they can be as you make it down into the kitchen, and I will let you greet each other.
God.
Anybody remember how we got here?
Not at all.
No,
Ooh,
I don't.
man. I felt like I
Last
just
I
slept
remember,
for
we
a
were-
week.
Well,
Last I remember, I was trying to get Orlina back. Next thing I know, I wake up here.
well,
Great to be alive.
well, okay. That part I remember. How I got here? No. I remember. Ooh. I remember getting. Kind of getting back, but not again. Not how we got here. I remember you coming, but something happened, and you came to save me, but then I had to save you.
Did y'all save the guy that the snake guy wanted to
Yeah,
find him?
Yeah. Yes.
Good.
I made it back with him.
Oh, see? That's good.
Hey,
So,
I
was
had
he,
to scoop you
what
up
was it?
off
Was
the...
it make it back?
I remember having to scoop you off the ground to make certain we got through the portal.
Hey, me?
Aye, you.
Huh. I don't remember that.
I should hope not. You are sound asleep.
I remember you saving my life while we were out there, Sequoia.
I did?
I was me and I don't know the guy's name. We were gonna die.
Nice.
The lightning was coming for us.
You think? Oh, thank goodness you found Cicero. I was trying to get into his house and couldn't find him. It got destroyed and I looked in the wreckage.
Yeah, he was at the he was holed up in the Mages Guild.
Well, That's
But,
all right,
um,
I
leave.
do remember. I do remember that.
I just remember
Seems bu-
there was a lot of lightning and people screaming, and there was fire, and
There
I got
was
a bunch of people into the portal. I don't think the snake guy was very happy about that, but I saved some people.
saved a lot
there
of
was
people.
also that lad talking about an amethyst lord or something about a golden fleet. He
A
got
lot of
cut
titles.
short. Die more than a mouth should have.
What guy?
There was
The
that
herald.
lad that was standing up. He was a herald to some amethyst lord, and they either had or they broke a fleet that was made of gold. Golden fleet was the term that they used, but I don't remember much after that. He was talking and
Uh,
somebody tried to shoot him with a bolt from a ballista.
ooh. I don't think I was. I didn't catch any of that.
That sounds interesting. Like, so he was one of the bad guys?
I don't know who he was, but when he spoke, the rain and the wind all stopped for him to deliver that speech. And the moment somebody tried to shoot him with a bolt, he said some more words, and then the rain and the winds and the lightning picked back up again. I don't know
The
if he had
wind.
control of it.
That's what happened. When you came back for me, because I couldn't. I was to get back. There was a tornado, and I don't know if you remember. It scooped us up in the tornado.
Aye, I remember we were trying to hold on to each other, and this post in the ground, and it picked us both up, and that's the last thing I really remember.
We were.
These guys
I
was
was
in a
holding
tornado?
on. It was crazy. But I'm
And you're
trying to
still
hold
here.
on
That's
to
so
him
crazy.
and hold on to the and we kept spinning. Of course, it's a tornado, but I could see I could catch the portal. It was still, and as we were spinning, and somehow I kicked off of something and landed near the portal and somehow dragged him in. That was hard. You need to, but we made it.
Wow.
You're heavy.
But, well, I remember
I hold up
when
my
we got
arm,
back.
kind of the helmet, and just being like, "Aye, I'm pretty well broken too."
Doesn't make you any less heavy.
No.
I remember when we got back, Angwyn seemed pretty upset with our heroism, and we were scooped up by Aegis and Tavish and Sequoia. I think you both were still out of it. Took us to be questioned, but I
I don't remember any of that.
I don't remember what was said or what questions were asked.
You were barely there.
There's a knock at the door, and it's like relatively like rapid and tapping, like tat tat tat.
Gosh, does it have to knock so loud? Oi. I got it.
As you open the door, it is Tim, and
Hey!
he's like, "Oh, good. So, you guys are all ready to go, yeah?
Go where?
I've got a caravan for us. We've got to get to the Mudfalls."
By the gods, we gotta go back. I can't
When-
believe it.
Do we?
When was that?
Right.
I was told you
Um,
guys have been back at the city for like 2 or 3 days.
Has it been that long? Were we out for 3
by
days?
the gods.
We've been asleep for 3 days.
I
Anyway,
slept.
Do we have like a newspaper or something like that to look at?
Next to him on your guys' porch is any sort of mail that would be delivered times 2, not 3.
Oh,
So it's been 2 days. Do we have to leave now? Do we have any time?
Aye,
I mean-
I've got equipment to replace.
We can do some of that on the road, and we're gonna stop at a couple of different areas that we can get some stuff. I do have some provisions that were given to me to make sure that you were all ready to go, but we kind of need to leave. I mean, like now. The only thing I couldn't find, the best I could do, Epsilon, is just here's a short sword. It's just like. It is a sword about the same length as what you would normally use, but it is just a sword.
he's like, wah, wah.
What happened to the sword?
Oh, he looks a little sad when you say that.
I've got some armor for you, Tavish, but I mean, yeah, you guys have maybe a few minutes. I was able to get an upgraded caravan though, so Orlina, there will be a small but functioning little oven for you. Anyway, let me go unpack that armor for you, Tavish, and then we can get out of here. So maybe 10 minutes, and he runs off to the back of the little convoy.
Yeah, Epsilon's gonna like reach into his like pocket and pull out his little bag of shards and like jingle it. Like, this is all I have left. My sword.
What happened to your sword?
Well, when me and Cicero were running from the Mages Guild trying to make it back to the portal, one of those lightning bolts just was flying directly at us, and I tried to block it with my sword, but it was too much magic. I couldn't reinforce the sword fast enough, and it exploded.
Is
You
your
tried to
sword
use
magic?
metal. You tried to use metal to deflect the lightning.
It's a
Yeah.
magic sword. It's supposed
Are
to
you-
do magic stuff.
Oh, it wasn't
Are you
magic
sure?
enough, I guess. I mean,
Doesn't
It's
sound
my
very
fault.
magical to me.
I put my
doesn't
hand
as,
on
He
Epsilon's
just looks.
shoulder and say, I'm sorry, lad. I know it meant a lot to you. It was your father's. We'll find a way to bring pieces of it back at least. Hopefully.
We'll find a way.
He's holding a little bag. I
Um,
plan on getting this made into a dagger. He puts it back in his
Okay,
pocket.
Lucky Charms.
Tim runs back up, and he brings this like bag of plate mail with him.
I grab the armor from Tim and be like, I'll be right back, I'll put this on. And I head back to my room.
Perfect. He shows everyone to the carriage. The carriage is noticeably like larger than the one previously. This one is a double decker with enough room easily to stand in. The top side is for like sleeping and resting. The bottom side's a more like almost like a small living room, and there is like the equivalent of what an easy bake oven would be for a place like for a time like our magical world of cinematic epic. And it like juts out the side and like vents out the rear of the carriage.
How many can I make at a time?
It's like 4-ish. So
I was gonna say 4. Okay, that's acceptable.
and other than that, you guys you board the carriage and you begin to head on off. As the carriage is going, Tim is kind of going through a briefing of the things to expect in the mud falls, when all of a sudden the carriage comes to a stop. And Tim looks out and goes, "What's going on?" "Oh, yeah, 1 second." And he leans back in and goes, "Epsilon, someone needs to talk to you before we go."
Oh, well, he's gonna get up and get on out the carriage.
As
wake
you
me up.
as you get out there, it is Darian waiting for you.
Of course it is.
"Epsilon, I heard your sword was damaged in battle."
Yeah, it was pretty much destroyed. Oh, all I have left is some shards.
I
May
can't
I
believe
see
he
them?
slept for 2 days.
I'll pull a little bag out and
Don't
hand it
feel
to him.
bad. Like, what?
This will do.
I mean, I guess I was tired. but
He
didn't feel
reaches into his
that
cloak and he pulls out a sword that looks oddly similar to the one that you were just using. And he crushes the gemstones in his hand and then smacks the pommel down onto the blade. And then with a glowing shine, he pulls his hand away, and the crystal is like affixed to the bottom of it in a jagged and forced togetherness, but it is all attached. This will have to do for now. However, when you return, I have a place I would like you to go with your adventuring party. And don't worry, it's a sanctioned mission of Ambervale. I understand how to work within the confines of rules. It's a matter of principle for me. But for now, wish you best and your trip and whatever will accost you at the Mud
What do you
Falls.
think they're talking about? It's not
And remember-
in a hurry.
Not all magic needs to be violent. Sometimes it's about creating, and other times it's about removing. And
Thank
he
you.
nods and kind of takes a step back as you hop back in the carriage, and the journey continues onwards. Tim goes over how this journey is going to take much longer, as we're not going down to the mud flats, we're going to the mud falls, and the safest way to do this is, well, to go down from Ambervale to the crossroads, then follow the crossroads east to the road to Keep Kolok, and then before you head towards Keep Kolok, you come south down the entire mountain range until you hit the mud falls, rather than trying to just be out in the basically the wastes on, and then having to cross the first wall and do all of that stuff. So it's a longer journey. It will take some more time, but it will get everyone there nice and safe, and it is the easiest on the horses. However,
long?
this journey will take 1 week.
Oh,
A whole week.
Just going there and coming back.
No, just going there.
A whole
as,
week one way? Yikes.
The journey around the mountains takes some time, or not around the mountains, but in the footsteps of the mountains takes some time. But it is easier to travel than trying to go through the mud fort, across the mud wastes on foot, or over the first wall, then cross the mud wastes on foot, or trying to just cut through the desert, not on one of the designated paths. Epsilon, as each day passes, you're getting this feeling of like, okay, all right, no, I've got 17 days. 17 days is good. 16 days. Whew. And by the time that you are on the arrival day to the mud falls, you're like, okay, all right, 13 days. Oh, 13 days. 13 days is still good. 13 days is still good. Okay. Oh, wait. No, hold on. How are we getting back? Oh, I hope we're portaling back. Otherwise...
Are we walking?
Oh. Otherwise, I might have like 6 days left. Oh, boy.
You okay? What do you seem distressed?
Just trying to figure out how I'm gonna get to Vice to make this delivery.
What delivery?
What-
You didn't tell us anything
why do you gotta
about that.
No, you didn't. What's going on? What kind of delivery you gotta go?
Well, I got this great deal on all the stuff I got in my room, and I just have to make a delivery of several bags to Vice. but the deadline's coming soon.
Bags of what?
What kind of bags?
I don't
You
know.
didn't
I don't
ask?
know what-
You don't know what you're delivering?
No,
You could be smuggling people, you know? Like,
there's people. Oh, I don't. No, I didn't ask at the time.
What if it's illegal?
yeah.
I figured
It sounds
that
illegal already. Like,
if
I
they,
don't,
they
I don't
would,
think we're in very good graces with the king right now anyway, as it is, so.
it did. You know, at the time, it didn't seem like it was gonna be difficult to do, but it seemed like the not having a lot of time to take care of it as much as I thought I would.
Because, you know, you
Where
got a
did you
job
get?
and
Where
stuff.
did you get all your stuff? Where did you get the stuff from?
The place was called Procurement Inc.
That sounds because that sounds legit.
They had a really
They
nice store.
just gave you these bags to deliver as what? Is this? So you got the items and they gave you this job.
Yeah. I want to like pull out a copy of like the contract. Like
It was
here,
a contract.
Look at this.
You got a
I take the contract from him and begin reading the Like,
Christ.
do you mind if I read this real quick?
Oh dear.
By all means.
How
The
bad is
contract
it? Is he
is the contract's actually very well written. It's very clear in what it brings up, what it entails. That he is to deliver a shipment from Ambervale to Vice, and other than that, it's just that he does that within the time period. That it is written under all ordinances of Ambervalian law, and that is what the contract is.
Does it say how
There
much-
is a a shipment number on it, so it's not just like a random amount of goods or whatever. It says like you will deliver shipment, and then it has like a long barcode number that means nothing to you. And yes, it does detail the fact that his current debt is 7,200 gold. With a if he fails to deliver the goods in time, that it does multiply by 2, and then it is a 15% interest per day after
per
that.
day?
So how bad is it? Is he screwed? Come on, Tavish.
Lad,
How
you
bad?
understand. If you don't get this done,
Thank you for that.
that'll be
correction.
about 14,000 pieces of gold. And then an additional 15% of that every day until the contract is filled, or you pay it back.
Every day.
Yeah.
What madness
screwed.
drove you to sign this?
You know, it didn't seem like it would be too difficult a task at the time, like I said, but something the time ran away from us at this point, and now I feel like it's gonna be
I-
difficult.
I need you to not
We was
us.
asleep for 3 days.
Did you read the contract before you signed it? Because that's nuts.
It's... Lad, this is cut right and cutthroat. This could lead you down a dark path of having to pay it back one way or another. Ways that you might not feel akin to doing.
He's gonna be selling people. That's what's gonna happen.
Selling
When
people.
were you gonna mention this? Because, granted, it hasn't have anything to do with us. But why
But
would
we
you?
kind of stuck together, you know. We got a job to
Say
do
something.
together, and
Aye. Alright,
kind of seemed like something that might have been important to say. You know.
Like,
You know.
I mean, I understand that it is your business, lad. but I gotta admit, you put yourself between the mountain and the hammer with this. Between mountain and stone, you stand, and there's not a lot of leeway to one way or the other. Do you have the bags?
7,000 gold.
Hey, it's 12. It's going to be 14. That's enough for a small army, if you know the right places. But goodness gracious, lad.
Our names aren't on there anywhere, are they?
No.
Oh, you experienced with that.
I know, right?
Right
I
on
was
the old
worried
days of contract.
about setting up contracts for other people. She's like, wait a minute. Let's
Hey,
maybe...
it didn't involve
seems to
money,
be-
though. Okay.
It seems to be all solely upon Epsilon here himself, which I have to give credit to the lad. At least he didn't try to sell anybody else under the bus.
He will be selling
Or
people.
the
though.
wagon.
That's the way he's got to do it. He's going to be selling people to pay this debt back. That's how I'm seeing it.
At the time, it
He's
seemed
selling
like it wouldn't be that
himself.
hard.
Tim does yell back into the cabin. We're about 10-15 minutes out. On a quick aside, Orlina, you would definitely have been preparing over this week-long travel. Is
100%.
there? Let's talk about how many edible muffins you have prepared in the last couple days of the voyage.
Edible.
They're all edible. Only some of
so-
them are edible ones.
Let's. What is the distribution you would like to try to achieve of your? We'll go for a baker's dozen because you would have slotted out time to try to make sure you get as many muffins made for the arrival date.
Yeah, since I can only make 4 at a time, I would have tried to get as many out as I could. What do you mean distribution? Like what kind of muffins?
Mm-hmm. Of the 12, of the baker's dozen, so 13 ish.
Yeah.
That you'll be trying to make. What would you would you be going all for healing, sustenance? What are we thinking?
Well, in my mind, I feel like the healing muffins also provide sustenance. They're still muffins.
Yes, they would be a little like less fun to eat if you weren't. You know what I mean? Like it would be like eating like super packed
Like brand muffins.
pre-workout.
Protein.
Like a pre-workout. Like you're like sitting there like, oh, I'm just gonna relax on the couch and eat my pre-workout. Like
Just eating
It's
those
fine.
thing.
But you know
those
what?
protein bars.
But they
Fun.
still-
Rich in
but-
fiber.
But you know what? It still tastes good because nothing I make tastes bad. And I don't have any way. Do I have any way to make any other muffins, or just healing muffins and regular muffins?
Hey. In cinematic epic, you're always welcome to try.
I always feel like I try to get at least 1 or 2 with the glaze if possible, because it's comes in handy. Try to get at least 1 or 2 with the glaze. Predominantly healing muffins, but I wouldn't mind like 1 or 2 regular muffins solely because we do have other food. So me making just regular muffins isn't as important as me making the
Makes
healing
sense.
the other muffins that are going to help.
So healing and laughing. Yes.
Yes.
All right. Let's get a good
Call it
old
laughing.
fashioned Orlina dice roll to see how this plays out.
Ooh. Okay, that's not that bad.
That's pretty good.
That could have been. It could have been.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
We're gonna say you have 6 healing muffins and 3 of your laughing ones, and then the remaining 4 turned out like they lost their magical properties along the way, and so they are just normal food muffins.
Okay.
Those normie
Okay.
muffins.
Like these. I put regs.
The regs ones.
The regs.
The regs.
The caravan comes to a stop, and
Plain Jane.
Tim comes back and goes, all right, this is as far as the caravan can go. I'll stay with it. and make sure it's here for you guys when you're ready. But your meeting point with Palumbi should be just up on that ridge. And he gestures to a place that the horses by no means could go and reach. So you'll have to kind of walk up a little bit of a switchback and then across a narrow little walkway to get to.
I have one question.
Sure, what's up?
Do we still, even because we were asleep for however long, do we still have all of the things that we had before? Or have we lost anything? Because, like, okay. Like, the things that we obtained last episode.
Yes. The only thing that would not have persisted would be perishables. So, like, any of the muffins that we had rolled for in the last session over the course of, like, sleeping and the week, those would be, but, like, anything and everything else obtained in the last session, if it is a permanent item, yes, is maintained.
Okay. I'm just double checking as I think about what I got.
Yeah, I'll say.
And if
we don't know enough about
lost
what you
anything,
got. But you got that what's it? That, that thing. You got that thing out the Mages Guild that no one else knows about, but you.
Oh, I mean, we got that.
Unless they took it.
But yeah, so unless it's perishable, you still have anything, etc.
Is the wine perishable?
No, the wine will stay. Anyone who collected any of the mud wine, all that kind of stuff, you would still have that. Yes.
Cool. I have all kinds of goodies.
As you look at the surroundings around you, the mud falls is this brutal area where, like, on the top of this ridge, water just like pours down, churning into mud that seemingly just flows like a river as mud just kind of overtakes the slopes and the land and then pours into the mud flats in this ever just moving. And as you look again, there's no body of water that should support this much constant water flow. Like, these waterfalls are massive and rapid and violent, and you make your way around them until you reach the top of the plateau where the water is coming from, to which you are met with the vision of this water is actually just coming from nowhere.
Magic water, magic mud.
As you move past this area towards the destination, you're along this small little switchback, slopey path, as it is also still just covered in mud. When all of a sudden, the pathway starts to give and shake, and you realize that whatever you've just stepped on isn't ground anymore. It's some sort of wooden platform, and the whole thing begins to shift underneath foot. What would the party look to do?
So
it's
like cantilevering down.
Yeah, it's like gonna like send you off into like mud, like that is far deeper looking.
I start moving towards the side that is like in the so if it's falling like this, I'm running to this side.
You're watching like the path in front of you. The whole path is like doing that.
I get us
trying to throw what's in the mud, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I go to the side that's like not falling the fastest.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that's Tavish. What else we got?
So we're just like standing on like this. Are we at the top of the falls?
Yeah,
We're,
so
like,
you're
looking
like
down?
you're like walking from the falls towards like some of the mountains, basically, like because the mud falls connects to the mountain ranges. You're heading from the mud falls to like the edge of mud falls and the mountains where your meeting point is. As you're heading down this path, you're walking, and then all of a sudden it starts to like tilt, and then you realize the whole thing you're on is actually a platform and not the ground. You couldn't hear the difference because of how much mud and churning water there is, and so the platform is twisting underneath foot. Tavish is like going to the side, like where he can like touch like the less muddy, rocky like side of the wall that you'd be traveling next to.
So there's no way for us to like balance it.
Yeah, it looks as if the whole thing is like collapsing, like almost as if on a hinge.
How far? Like, is the whole path in front of us is like that too, or like what's the distance?
It would
looking
be
like?
about 10-15 feet. It would be easier to get to the other side forward than it would to go back.
We gotta run.
Gotta run.
I'll run it for it.
I mean, honestly. Oh.
All right. Well, let's.
Honestly, that might be the way to go, because I'm trying to figure out if is there anything to grab onto. I'm assuming no.
I mean, Tavish went
hey,
to
in
the
cinematic
wall.
epic, you're always welcome to try.
Like, if he
Tavish has
so-
climbing skills.
What is the wall that
So-
Tavish is holding onto? Is it the side of the mountain, or like what is it that we're?
Yes, it would be the side. It would be the side of the mountain that he is attempting to hold on to. Yes.
But there's like still nothing
Attempting.
underfoot
Tempting.
at that part.
I mean, potentially. Well, we haven't gotten into follow-up actions yet.
I feel
So
like
right
all I
now,
could do is
the only information is that the slope is.
I'll run it.
yeah.
Run
So I
just-
feel like if we look and we can see that there is it's not the entirety of the path. You can see that it's just a portion of it. I feel like she would try to run. Well, like run, but she's trying to see if there's anything else that she can do.
No,
she
fair,
runs.
fair.
Does that make sense? Like, is there anything I can grab onto while I'm running? I don't know. To try to what if I don't make it?
Can I like use like my magic sense to like kind of gauge how far or like how deep the mud is around us, like in the vicinity, to find like a better pathway to walk?
I mean,
like,
you could potentially do that. However, doing so would mean you are observing your surroundings while we go into our next dice rolls.
Yeah.
So is that what
So
you
you're
would
not
do
moving,
first,
things are happening.
as the platform is collapsing? Is that what your action would be, or?
Well, I kind of, because I'm like, I don't really know like where I'm going if I can't just like see what I'm getting into instead of just like starting to
Mhm.
run ahead. But
No,
I mean,
straight.
if me like kind of trying to like gauge the situation is going to like take too long, so like I won't be able to, like the whole thing will be collapsing while I'm still being like
Yeah.
is
So,
it down?
like as an example, just for this, it would be if you wanted to do that. I would say it's like an athletics check to try to get across to the open side first. While doing so, based on that roll, you would then roll to like observe things. So that way, if you're struggling to get across, your focus would be on going like, oh, actually, hold on, I need to focus on what I'm doing. Whereas if you're like, oh, I'm going to get to the other side easy, then observation becomes something that you could multitask in. So if you want, we can start with like get to safety or perceived safety, and then if the roll is high enough, like add in an observation roll.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
Perfect. So
They said a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
words. So to get to the
I
other
know some of
side,
those words.
it would let's see here. We can use athletics, acrobatics. So athletics or acrobatics. Or Lina, Sequoia, Epsilon. Which one are we
I'm
using?
doing that. Athletics with my little
Athletics?
2. I got.
I'm
What
pretty
do
sure I don't have
have?
anything.
I'm like, I'm
Oh, I
trying
got.
to figure
I
out.
don't have anything.
Yeah, you have. So it's unmodified rolls and then a 2 in athletics for Epsilon. Let's see those dice.
Yeah, I don't got
I
jack.
was like, wait, what? Do I have anything? No, I don't have anything in either one of them, so it doesn't really matter.
We are
Okay.
not the most athletic as of yet.
No.
That's
Not
the
terrible.
Sponsor.
Okay.
Oh.
Epsilon, with your 2 in athletics, you're able to keep your footing sound as you're like you just find like hard spot to hard spot to like get, and you're able to like move and slide onto the unshifting platform and reach back as the other 2 are getting closer. Would you attempt to reach back and grab both and help them both over, or would you prioritize one of them?
Are they coming at the same time, or is one person in front of the other?
It is roughly the same time. Yes.
I'll put both my arms out. Oh, you'll fall right into
Perfect.
shit.
As Orlina and Sequoia, as you're both getting to the other side, you're like, I'm gonna make it, and you're like 1/2 step shy of like making it. And you feel your body weight kind of start to drop down more than going forward, and you're gonna land like waist into the ledge. And as Epsilon like holds his hands out to like for you to grasp.
Okay,
I'm gonna take it.
Reach. I'm gonna reach. We're gonna reach for it.
I'm gonna take
Alright,
it.
Reach.
We're going to do a combined party strength roll for the three of them. Their strength stats will be brought in for this roll. Let's see what all three of them roll.
Yikes!
I rolled a 1.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
This
You're the one.
hit the
You're the
wall.
one holding us. That's not
It
even.
hit the wall. Listen, I can't control what it do. Okay, I can't control that.
Epsilon, as you reach out, you're like, it's such different heights that you misjudge where your hands should be for the two of them. At Orlina, as you reach out, the two of you just kind of like jam your fingers into each other and like slap knuckles as both of your hands recoil. Sequoia, you're able to like reach, and it's similar to grabbing like branches and trees. You've done this many times in the forest. So you're just grabbing on to Epsilon's arm. He isn't grabbing you in any way, shape, or form. And Epsilon, you're going to roll me a sturdiness check, which you untrained in. So let's see a sturdiness check for Epsilon.
Got that extra sturdy. Oh, that
No, you're
wanted to be
not.
a 1. That wanted to be a 1. I didn't like
All
that.
right, we'll come back to that in just a second. But
Where
we
you
need
going?
a sturdiness check. A sturdiness check for Tavish as you get to the side of the collapsing things, trying to hold on. So sturdiness check for Tavish.
I got a 2 in sturdiness, if I recall.
Wow.
It is. You're able to like anchor in your foot.
No, a 1.
Your feet. As like the platform, you feel it like collapse under you like that, and the toes of your plate mail are resting on like the hinge of whatever this like bridge area is, and your gauntlets of your gloves are just digging in as tight as you can, like to the point where like as you grip the wall, some like little sparks when you hit a rock will like shoot out. But for right now, you're pressed up against the side and you are not falling.
Can I use climb to get myself over to the safe spot?
Let's see a roll for it.
All right, that I do have a 2 in. Let's go.
2 climb.
That was a nice little stop they made there.
Right.
That's how mine rolled a 1.
Not bouncing off and hitting a 1.
It's not the most graceful thing with all the mud in your plate mail, but you are able to make it over, but not with great haste. So you constantly are looking over at the party as you see the rest of these events unfold, which is now. So Sequoia, you're grabbing onto Epsilon's arm, and you see him slip in the mud as he's now being pulled towards you. Would you continue holding on to him, or would you let go and try to grab the ledge?
I'm gonna try to grab the ledge.
All right, let's see a grapple check for Sequoia, untrained.
Ooh. Not
That's
the
good.
worst.
Average.
Okay.
You're able to
style.
get a grip on
50-50.
and stop your fall. However, you can tell that you have nothing to really like sink your fingers into, and it's just mud and it's sloshing underneath you. If you were heavier, you probably would have just pushed through this soil and like fallen, but you're just light enough that your like grip is slowly slipping, but for now you are not falling anymore. Or Lina, let's see, you're falling. Would you also grab the ledge?
Can I reach it? If I could, I would try.
Yes. Let's see a grapple for Orlina.
I'm just gonna let myself fall.
You know,
Okay.
that's kind of
Wow.
Okay.
All right.
I thought I was gonna be that one, and I was like, crap.
With so your one hand extended out to reach Epsilud's, and it collides, and you kind of use that to like push your other arm forward, and you get one arm, and you like flap against the side. Mud is all over your face, but you're got one arm. But you also find yourself slowly slipping backwards.
Well, I feel like I would reach up at least with the other arm as well. That's why I have two arms up there.
All right, let's get a climb check for Orlina, untrained.
Yeah.
Hey,
There we
somebody
go.
wants to live.
Come
So,
on.
Orlina,
somebody
you
wants to
begin
live.
Right?
you begin climbing up top, and Sequoia, let's get a climb check for you as well. I believe also untrained.
Yeah,
Yes.
probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Not
Okay.
Not
You
the worst,
also
not the worst.
like you begin pulling yourself up. The four of you are on this slope, like oh, as you will make it to the other side.
Whew. Okay.
Win.
Just got
Let's
here.
get a perception check for all of you.
Oh God.
I got that 2 in perception.
I think
I
have
got 2
one.
as well.
No one rolled a 20.
Oh.
At least we got a 20. Okay. 11. Our sponsored number.
Yeah.
Orlina, it comes to you slightly before everyone else. You hear this slight extra slushing sound over the mud, and you locate its direction just in time to like look up, and the rest of the party kind of like sees you looking and looks up, and you see this group of orcs sliding down the mountain on like what looks like spiked, almost like mud boards of some kind, and they're firing out arrows in your like crossbow out in your direction.
Of course they are.
Cool.
What did we do?
We gotta fight. We gotta fight.
We're just here.
They think we're intruders. Let's do this.
Can we try to,
So
like-
Awesome.
right now, a wave of crossbow bolts is coming at all of you.
I was gonna say we
reactions.
have to dodge initially. My first reaction is to
I-
dodge.
Try to create like a mud like canopy to block the arrows.
Of course, let's see a mud canopy.
Remember what happened last time you tried to mess with this mud?
Okay, look. I'm still gonna
And
try
of
it.
course, we have to roll calamity because we're interacting with the mud.
Yeah.
Oh, yep. Forgot about that. Man,
Oh!
remind me about this. I forget every
Ooh.
time. Hi.
Okay, is that high numbers are bad for us?
No,
Or high
it's
High
No,
numbers
high-
are
high
good
number-
for
high
us.
numbers are good.
Low numbers
numbers
are.
are
Okay.
So we
High
got right
good, low
smack in
bad.
the middle. Okay.
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 So,
Yep.
like, you push this wall of kind of like mud up. A lot of the crossbow bolts either like dampen in their lethality and kind of like push through, but like clack on armor and like are more like someone like flicked or punched you in the head rather than like, you know, pierced you. And the others are blocked. However, you feel like a tingling sting through your fingernails and like a vibration and stiffness down your spine. Let's get another party perception check real quick, though.
a 19 with my 2.
Oh, I can't see it.
I can't see
What is
where I'm
that?
at. Like at all.
What is that?
Ooh,
What
yeah,
the
I
heck?
got a 20.
Is that
all right,
is that two
all right.
20s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
it is.
The hell,
I'm gonna
man!
need these to come
you
back
guys trained
later
in those
as
skills?
well.
You guys
I
both
have one.
perception.
You all have this moment where you realize with these bolts that came through the mud that even at the velocity they came through, they still should have like pierced a little bit. And as you look down, these crossbow bolts are all rounded and blunted, and they are not sharp.
Oh,
Ah,
they're not actually trying to kill us. They're just trying to scare us off.
So what are?
or they're trying to knock us out.
As you see the
That was not in
the
character.
group
Sorry.
the group is very close to the party now, within 10-15 feet. They'll be on top of the party. It is a group of like 12, by the way. They will be on top of the party in 5, 4.
Oh God.
And
Tavish
we, like,
draws
try to-
steel and gets himself ready.
still
Light
get
my
ready.
I want
hands
to try
up.
to like be diplomatic and be like, we're not a threat. We're here and we have a meeting with Palumbi.
And Orlena?
Yep. I'm not going to try to attack them. That's a horrible idea.
And
I'm lighting my hands up, just ready for whatever comes.
the group, as they come in, it's like lightning fast. Some of them like zip past you and like go off the ledge, but then like the mud that is like underneath their boards, they like direct it in the air and like swoop around the party and make it onto like either side of the ledge, and the pathway that you are on corrects itself up as they land, and you have 6 orcs on one side, 6 on the other. When you hear, I guess not the least formidable group I've ever seen. Who are you and why are you here? As a smaller but potent-looking female orc steps ahead of the group.
Oh, okay.
Are you
Hey,
Palumbi?
girl.
Yeah? What's it to you?
Hey, Hey.
We
He's
were
planning it.
told to come and find you from Galatrax. He said if we truly wanted to do any good, we'd have to come and talk to you first.
Ugh, Galatrax. So you must be the adventuring party then? Heroes from Ambervale?
Yeah.
If the term suits the tongue, you can say it.
That's a cool phrase.
I mean, I guess you all
I had
handled
taken it.
yourselves decently. I might have a task for if you're up for it. How are you at killing things?
That's what I do.
Between
Alright, well-
a sharp blade and a sharp tongue, we can get the job done.
Oh,
Works for me. I have a cave that I need you to go through and clear. It's not suited for me and my mud riders. It's too much walking and too cramped an environment, but I bet for, and she like flicks your armor, Tavish, for a group such as yourself, you'll do, I guess.
oh.
What are we clearing out?
A
Where's
cave.
the cave?
Anyway,
Yeah, but what's in the cave that you want us to clear out? Like what are we clearing out of the cave?
enemies and such. I mean, realistically, probably goblins for the most part, but most of the time they keep something a little deeper in their little coves and whatnot. I have a feeling they're funded by somebody, but I can't prove it because it's not somewhere we go. If you find out what it is, do let us know. And then she, like, snarls to herself and kind of, like, walks past the party. Anyway, this way. So
Set myself
Galatrax
How'd you
sent
do
you,
that
huh?
with the mud? How'd you do that with the
Aye.
mud? That's pretty cool. Yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
did.
Yeah, he sent us. So how'd you do that with the mud?
Galatrax said,
She looks back at Orlena. We have our ways, and we're going to keep our secrets. I don't really trust heroes from Ambervale.
I mean, I guess that's fair.
Okay, but what about the board? Because the board is pretty cool.
You see, now that you're looking at them up close, they are like, they're actually just like spiked tower shields. You imagine they probably were Keep Kolok designed at one point and have been repurposed and redesigned into what you see before them.
I still want to know where I can get one.
We make them in
I
the mud
reckon-
fort, so if you ever manage to get there, probably not, you can find them in a lot of different shops.
She's not
Why
very
don't you-
confident.
I don't think she
Can I
likes
do like
us very much.
some kind of a
That's okay. It's okay.
What
a
do we
study
have?
check?
No, we-
I just want to know,
Mhm.
like, what's the history of goblins looking like? Like, are we out here like doing some dirt by kicking these goblins out? Like, are they maybe menacing people? Like, what's going on?
All right, so yeah. So
I don't want
you
to just
want
go
to do?
burning down homes and have this man be like, the goblin children inside the orphanage. Oh no!
So you want to do like a study monster or study history?
I got 0 in either, so let me go ahead and do history.
Perfect. Let's see a untrained roll.
Oh my god.
Think about the moral implications.
Damn.
That's a 9.
You're not the most versed in this, but you do know, similar to Draklins, goblins usually find themselves in kind of a pet race, like feeling where they are used by larger groups or entities. They are kind of like ants, where they'll have their own colonies and sting areas. They're mean and simple creatures. For the most part, they're stupid, but when one of them's smart, it's like an odd level of genius.
Okay.
Now look,
So,
it's not that she
how
doesn't
is the-
like us. We just have to prove ourselves.
So how is the
Why would you
self-proclaimed
really not
hero
like
of the
us?
Mudflats doing?
Trying his best to do what he can to stand out from beneath his father's shadow.
Well, at least I know that feeling. Bleeding heart idiot of a father I have.
You are
Yes,
his
indeed.
sister? You guys are related?
Oh, God, no.
I could automatically assume that.
I'm the daughter to Gumby.
All orcs have the same parents.
Did you say
Gumby's
Gumby?
Gumby.
Gumby.
You hear one of the members behind you goes, "Yeah, he's one of the half orcs they allow," and then his sentence is interrupted as a bolt like goes straight through his eye, and he crumples backwards, and he's like gurgling and whimpering in pain as like other members of the group continue walking by him. One goes so far as to put his foot on his chest and press him into the mud, and you just hear the orc gurgling in agony as his mouth slips beneath the mud, and then you see his body get just like taken by the current and pulled off the ledge.
All right.
And
What was
Palumbi
that?
goes, "I don't necessarily respect my father, the choices he makes, bleeding hard as he is. However, to use such vile slurs against another orc, clearly no honor, so clearly not deserving of life. Anyway, the cave's just up ahead."
I was just wondering about these orc slurs, so I can be sure to not ever use those.
Palumbi, it kind of is a little bit ahead of the group and doesn't answer the question, but one of the genetically human members goes, "To be an orc is a decision. It's a lifestyle. It is to feel everything around you and to live with nomadic purpose, a warrior spirit at heart. The term half-orc implies that you can be half of it. As if the decision isn't something that you make. I am as much orc as Gralik here, or Talax." And he points to two, hulking, 6'4" and 1 6'8", muscle-ridden, green-skinned, tusked individual. We three are orc. To say anything
you're either
less.
orc or you're not.
Exactly.
Okay. I get it.
Got it. Good to know.
As you get to the entrance of a cave, you see that the path is winding and goes around it, but then there's just this entrance, and it does have some barricades up around it, but the barricades are pointed in, not out. Anyway, to give you some information, this path used to be what we would go through in our fights with Keep Kolak and the other races of the mountains. However, after we were pushed back when the Ambervalian armies slaughtered our people in the plains, we lost control of these mountain passes. Now they're fortified from the inside, and we don't have the manpower to deal with it. So, that's where you all come in. These unaffiliated holdings have to be cleaned out, so orc lives aren't needlessly thrown away, winding these silly paths through the mountains.
Just a question, if you don't mind me,
Okay.
Palumbi. Once we take them, will you hold them, or just keep them clear?
We have a reserve force ready to move in once they're cleared out. Holding them will be much easier for our people than taking them.
Just wondering, thinking long term, if trade would pass through these paths, if the opportunity would present itself, that is.
It would be the hope if, I guess, well-wishing my father's plans come to fruition. Or at the very least, they become assault routes.
Understood.
Father's plans.
It's, look, I'm not going to go into my father's plans here. I don't agree with them, and I wouldn't do them justice, but I'll tell you this. I'll honor what Galatrax has mentioned. If you clear this route for me, I'll sign off on your entrance into the Mud Fort. With both of us vouching for you, they won't turn you away.
Okay.
Then we will see you once we have it cleared.
Uh-huh.
There we go.
Riders, let's move. And she begins to step away, and she goes, you know, it's funny. Gumby's always liked Galatrax more than he's liked me. I feel like Garrock feels the same way. But in reverse. I guess we're not all our father's children, are we? Well, anyway, heroes. Good
Parents
luck.
want their children to be like them, and sometimes it is unreasonable for children to end up like their fathers or their mothers. That does not make them any less proud. It just makes them wonder if they did something wrong, or if they hope that they did something right.
Well, when you meet him, I guess you can make that determination for yourself. And they, kick their boards out and jump on them, and they seem to, propel down the path with an unnatural swiftness as you stare at the entrance to the cave.
What the hell?
All right.
Big one.
And
Why are they
on
so cool?
that ominous note with the cave there, we will take a short 5-minute break to allow everyone to rest and recuperate before a fun, enjoyable series of events begin.
Man, shut up.
Let's do it, lad!
Welcome back. I am Game Master Adam, and we've had quite a session. We've had some dreams, we've had some travel, we've had some very, very real dread felt about looming debts. But all of those are being pushed aside as this task for Palumbi takes the stage. It takes that center attention as the party finds themselves before a cave. This cave is ominous and scary, very spooky, very dark. So let's bring the party back in and let's find out how this whole ordeal plays out.
Let's go.
As all of you stare into the entrance of the cave, you get the feeling of almost like a childish nervousness as you know that this task is going to be difficult. Something just this screams out from this place that it's not just going to be a walk in the park. Each one of you kind of takes that seconds to prepare yourselves, whether it's your adrenaline rushing, whether it's you calming yourself down, and a thought goes through each of your minds. For Orlina, it's that simple feeling. It's a thought you haven't had in a while with your mother, and your father, and what it meant to go into the kitchen and create and bake. And you remember always asking your parents, like, why did their muffins, why did their food always taste so much different, so much better than yours when you were growing up? And they would look down at you with a smile and tell you it's because it's all about putting in that extra ingredient, that extra special something that only you can provide. But you can't do it when it's forced. You have to want to do it. And that's always stayed with you, is that special ingredient, that extra level of care and of love has to go into your craft. And you've taken that with you every day since. And you feel yourself emboldened and ready to attack this, knowing that in your satchel is your creation, something that you have learned to put your mind and your talents and your skill, but also your heart into. Sequoia, you have this feeling of nervousness. It's into this cave. It's dark. It's rocks. It's stone. These are elements that you know you can work with, but they're unfamiliar. They're not the flowing spirits that you're used to manipulating. It reminds you of fire, of burning, of these elements that are just outside of your own ability. And you hear these words, as you heard so many times, lessons from Hedera. Why do forests burn? It's so they can grow, Sequoia. Everything has a reset point. Everything has its balance. It's all part of the circle. From ashes, new life, new trees. And you feel yourself like, okay, I can do this. I can do this. For Tavish, combat is something that you're more than comfortable with. The idea of battle, of these creatures meeting weapon to weapon, steel to steel, strength against strength. All of that is something you're more than comfortable with. But you also know that part of your fearlessness comes from where you are in your journey. As you look around at your party around you, you see that they don't quite have some of the things that allow you to be quite so fearless, as amply ready for them. And you have this sense of the cycle, of life, of death, of the purgatory in between. And you know that you're going to have to be their armor as much as your armor is yours. Grip around your blade tightens, and a smirk runs across your face. and Epsilon. As you get into your head about what this is going to be, you think of oh, you failed with the sword, your magic was overwhelmed, you were so easily knocked to the ground. But you remember what it was like training with your father, training with the other heroes at the Green Groves Watch. They made the spectacular look effortless. And so many times you were shown up and you were one-upped, and you never really won those duels. They let you win a couple of times to show your improvement, but that honest victory wasn't ever achieved. But it wasn't from a lack of deserving on your own part. It was how powerful each of them was in their own way. And as you're thinking of all these combat, these abilities, fireballs, and different things you can do, Darian's words echo through your head. That magic isn't always about the damage in which that you can deal. Sometimes it's about creating or removing. And you feel yourself in a balanced state, ready to approach the challenges ahead. And so the party enters the cave. For about 4 minutes, the party walks down a straight hallway. Narrow, unchanging, and you hear or see nothing. Yes?
I'm over here like I have so many questions. Does anyone know anything about goblins?
Would you like to roll a knowledge check? Yes. You would like to roll history for you. You've got a 2. Yep. Let's see a roll in history 2. Yes, for Tavish.
I'm over here like, you can't have...
Yodo is some doo-doo.
It is a low roll, but you do have a 2 in history, and when goblins isn't a complicated subject. You're aware that goblins are a subservient species, similar to Draklins. They typically attach themselves to a larger or stronger group of people, whether it is an empire, a civilization, a kingdom, a castle, or just an entity. Goblins are typically stupid and brutish and like to swarm things with ant-based tactics, but when one is smart, they are devilishly smart and almost gnomically clever.
Okay.
See, I remember you telling us this, but you didn't tell us this.
I kind of relay that to everybody, watch for side tunnels. They'll try to get around us and swarm us. We have to stand firm and stand with each other. If one of us breaks, it all falls apart.
Is it safe to assume that
take
it's
the-
dark in here?
It
sorry,
is.
I didn't
It
I
is.
thought you were done.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I thought he was done. That's the only reason why I said that. I'm sorry.
You want to finish
I
your?
figured Tavish would go first.
Okay.
Tavish is kind of just trying to lead from the front because I got the most armor on.
I was
I'm trying
gonna
to
say,
figure out if it's dark.
It is.
Like what it
It
looks
is not. It's not well lit, but there is a glow to the hallway, similar to the background of the art. It's a very green,
Oh.
putridy feel to it. There's a haze,
Okay.
and fog kind of moves at your ankles and shins. But you could tell that this was a man carved path at one point. There
Okay.
are pathways and such throughout.
So okay, it's dim. It's not well lit. But can I see more clearly?
Yes.
Yes.
For the party in general, all can see within a really strong level. But yes, Orlando, you do in fact see better than they do.
Okay. Okay. I didn't know what it was looking like. So okay, that's what I need.
No, you're good.
Yeah, I can see better than you.
I
can
see
better than
you. Look at me,
Look, if it was dark, because if it was darker,
with your
I was
special
going to
eyes.
assist. I was going to need to assist. Okay.
As
Just trying to help y'all out.
as you approach a small archway leading into what looks like another long hallway, you do hear the chattering of voices in like just through the other side of this archway. You would be just out of like it's like pretty much straight, but there's like enough of a turn that where you are, you can't see down the hallway, and whatever's in the hallway can't see down at you.
I don't like
And
it.
you hear, you guys see anything?
No, I don't see anything. These patrols are so stupid. Orcs never try to come back through here.
Yeah, they're cowards. They slip or they slide, but they don't walk through tunnels. And other chattering of the sort.
So they like around the corner, and that's why we can't see them.
Yeah, they can't see you. You can't see them. They'd be like just around this slight bend. Their footsteps that you hear are very like.
Can we tell if they're walking towards us or away from us?
It sounds like towards you.
Okay.
I look. Did you have something?
No, I was just gonna say, is there any way, like, is there anything to the left or the right of us where we could try to like be like not in their view as they're coming around the bend?
No, the hallways are too barren for that.
Okay.
There's
I
no like
just
other little
look-
turn or room that we can kind of like slip down to go.
No, these hallways
Nothing.
are just straight
Okay.
straight board.
Just
through.
hallways.
Yeah.
Okay.
This little
Okay.
moment we got here, I just want to like low voice just ask like,
What?
Did you even
Okay.
say anything?
I
Yeah,
said, do we
heard-
kill them?
Oh,
I mean, like,
Like,
it went out right as you said that. We were like,
I'm not
The,
going to try and scare them, if that's what you're asking. I don't think that getting rid of them means sending them home to their beds to shiver at night.
yeah. I'm just thinking about. Yeah, I guess I don't know any Draklins personally. Never mind. So
Like
never
goblins.
mind.
I thought we were
Um,
fighting goblin.
The
It's not
We
that.
are-
I'm just thinking. It's just what he said earlier.
confused.
It
He's
just made me think
confused.
about stuff. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Never mind. It's fine.
He's
the
thinking about his
the,
crippling debt.
the goblins would be very close sounding at this point. They're going to be rounding the corner any second.
All right, guys, you ready?
Unsheath my sword.
I got my daggers. So wait, what is the cave? The cave is made out of like. Is there like a
It's
man-made like?
stone.
you
Yeah,
said it's man-made.
Okay.
Yeah.
it's like
Right.
yeah.
It's
I want,
archways,
like-
it's bricks, it's
Yeah,
like
it's
hewn from stone type of
mhm.
tunnel. There was a mention of it being man-made and probably something from Keep Kolak to kind of have like trade routes as well as like ways to send people through the mountain quickly.
And
Okay, but
it sounded like
it's
just
still
like,
like there's still like natural materials though, right? That I
There are
possibly
natural
try.
materials that have broken through for sure. Like it's not like a ready resource, but it is there. It's a little scarce, but like you have things to draw from.
Mostly rock.
Sort of things. Do I have like little
sounds
tree
like-
branches or roots or things coming through?
Yeah, like moss and like funguses, things like that. The occasional little vines like that have like up near like a portcullis or like a hollow through like a thinner side where like a small amount of light's coming. So it's there. It's not like trees and bushes, but there are plants around, and then there are spots where you can see like natural ground rather than the more cobblestoned pathways.
Okay.
Is this like how tall would you say the ceiling is? Is it like a standard room ceiling?
It's-
like
It's
8 feet?
no,
like
it's
10?
definitely taller than that. It's because they are rounded and they're top, rounded about. It's probably about 14 feet at its highest point.
Okay.
All right.
I turn to Sequoia and say, Kanya, is there anything around that you can touch with your magic?
There's a little bit of moss. It looks like, and some little tree roots, and I mean, I got a little bit to work with, but I can try.
The goblins are about
That's
to
not a
run.
Only-
whole lot.
I only
they're
ask
coming.
if you can get something for Orlena to stand on.
Are we gonna ambush them?
I want to
Aye,
get
we
like
are.
The goblins are imminent around the corner.
They're coming.
Do what you can.
4,
Make a stepping stool
3,
for Orlena to get up.
2,
Where hold them.
1.
Orlena, as soon as
Okay.
you get up, start firing.
Uh-oh.
They're here.
Got it.
So we'll start with the Sequoia roll. Let's see if a platform can be made from the resources.
Please.
Shit.
As you're trying to you're like, okay, wait, hold on. Do you want me to make a platform from, and you look around to see, you're trying to build things together, but you're trying to be quiet right now. So you're trying to not just flip cobblestones over, and a raise is starting to appear, but it is slow and tedious rather than, so Orlena right now, this is you.
Against the wall, invisible.
You're just in
Half
taller.
an inch taller.
And that's when the 3 goblins round the corner. They're not that many goblins, but 3.
It's one of 3.
No,
But that's what they
sounds
look
like
That's a
awesome.
lot of goblins.
Excuse me.
I was
that's
like, did he say
but that's
3
what they
or
look
30?
like.
Hold
Okay.
But that's what they
okay.
look like as they look, and the front one goes, "What?" And all 3 of them immediately turn to run.
We gotta grab 'em.
I rush forward to start swinging my sword and try to cut them down before they can get too far.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, let's see an attack roll from Tavish.
Holy fuck, they're dying.
All right.
Tavish,
That might
you're
not be
able to
good.
take a large step forward before the goblins even fully turn around, and with one sweep of your blade, all 3 goblins are just the closest one to you that's hit by the nearest side of your sword is cut at the chest clean through. The one furthest back in the group, the tip of the blade only hits and his head comes rolling off, and the 3rd one turns and puts his arms up, but your blade cleaves right through his arms into his chest. He's not through cleanly, but he goes splattering against the wall and slides down in a slump.
well,
So
It will be
that
easier
worked out better
from day one.
than we thought, I guess.
I hope they weren't important to someone.
No,
okay.
that's a patrol. We're now on a time clock. We need to get moving.
How long do we have?
If they-
Okay.
I don't know, but we should move quickly, quietly, and let's get those knives to work.
Oh,
And the party continues down the second long hallway.
Oh, dear.
Now is a good time to bring up a small little twist to the game that we're going to be throwing in, and that is another epic encounter.
shit.
What?
Okay. Epic encounter.
What? Oh,
In this epic encounter,
Oh, my
the
God.
party will be dealing with cramped environments, a lack of space, and hordes of enemies. So, the party will be at a normal, in a controlled state. In a controlled state, you act completely normally. In an uncontrolled state, if there are too many entities around you, whether they be goblins or other things that we might encounter, the party will enter uncontrolled. In uncontrolled, mastery cannot be used, and on top of that, forced actions always count as 1 level higher. And then in the final bit, if you are in anarchy, which is not a good state to be in, you have
How
the
do you get
opposite of
there?
mastery. If you have the opposite of mastery, you roll twice and take the lower of the 2 dice. All right. Are we ready to have some fun, adventurers?
What is
I hate you,
anarchy
Adam.
and how do I not get there?
right.
These will be determined based on the things happening around you, whether it be inanimate objects, goblins, or other fun entities.
Okay. They're
You
not
mean
fun,
other
but
fun
okay.
entities.
As
I
you
don't even want to know
reach-
that part.
As you reach the end of the hallway, the way is shut. It is collapsed underneath heaps and heaps of stone and iron and debris. However, a hobbled out little hole sits in the wall, as if a new path has been made, because goblins find a way.
Uh-huh. I see what you
Mhm.
did there.
How big is the hole?
It is a tight squeeze. Well, it's luxuriously spacious if you're a goblin. Relatively spacious if you're a Sequoia. So comfortable if you're anyone else.
That's the only way to go.
It is indeed.
Ay.
I put
But
So what
like,
do we
so
do?
can the others
sword
fit in
away.
there, or is it just like something that I would
yes.
have to go check out?
Everyone can fit in there, but Sequoia, you would fit in the easiest.
Okay.
Oh.
So,
How
Sure.
tall is Epsilon?
The what?
How tall are you?
6 foot.
Okay.
All right, so you and I are the
Oh.
same height.
All right, well,
I'm gonna.
I can try to go in the hole.
I guess
I'm
I can
gonna
go ahead and
put-
lead because I mean it's just my height, I suppose.
all right. So we've
Ugh.
got Sequoia going in first. Who would go in second?
I guess I'll follow.
I was gonna say I was, because I'm the next shortest.
I'm just thinking like, if something happens, I can like, we both can do something like while we in the hole.
So who's second?
With magic.
I've got magic too.
That's what I'm saying. Me
Sequoia
and you both.
go
That's what I'm
first?
saying. If you want to go next,
All right.
fine. Orlana, if you want to
Going
go
in
next.
second.
That's fine. That's fine.
Epsilon third. And
Yeah.
then Tabish fourth. All
I ain't getting
right.
stuck behind the big man. I ain't gonna get stuck
With-
and have me fucked up.
With the exception of Sequoia, as while it is cramped, you definitely have room to operate. While in this this small tunnel, Orlina, Tavish, and Epsilon, you are all at uncontrolled. As the space is tight, it is hard. Tavish, as crouched as you can be, and as like reserved a sword posture as you can get, you still feel yourself going like cling, clang, whack.
Oh.
Like you
I
are.
was going to.
Hmm?
Can I put my two-handed sword away and pull my dagger?
Sure, absolutely.
Before he goes in.
In which case, it's more that like as you like turn to try to get through places, you feel like if you turn wrong, your sword will literally like wedge in the hallway. It's so tight.
Great.
And then you start hearing, what? Wait, those aren't goblins. Wait, hey, get them! And you hear footsteps and scurrying. Tavish, you hear some coming from behind. Sequoia, you see some coming from in front as a horde of goblins is beginning to close in on your position.
Of course they are.
What's this hallway
I-
made out of?
It is stone. This is like not a it's not a man-made path, so it's not like the cobblestone. This is like dirt and rocks as goblins just like chiseled their way through the mountain to get around the collapsed hallway.
So I can use it.
Absolutely. But to get this kicked off, let's get an initiative roll for each of the party members and our goblin horde.
Oh dear.
For the horde.
God damn it.
I rolled low, boy.
That's
Hey,
not
I'm doing
good.
great.
Ah, dang it. To be
This
small.
is not good.
Well, it's a good thing I'm in the
Alright.
front.
And then let's see what our goblin board gets. Ba-ba-ba-ba.
That's some old
Hey.
bullshit.
That's some old doo-doo.
bullshit.
All right. So Sequoia, you have our first action. You see at a very summarized glance looking ahead of you, you see what looks to be something around 15 to 20 goblins minimum crawling, churning, and pushing their way down this ruined hallway at you.
Awesome.
Okay. So I touched the sides of the hallway, and I want like at the end where the goblins are coming from, like I want the ground underneath them to kind of like turn to quicksand, so they can just suck down into the ground.
Dig it. Let's
like
see
it.
you roll.
Gotten better than vines.
Aha, look at you moving up in the world.
Let's get a reaction roll for the horde of goblins. Instead of rolling for each of them individually, we will roll as a mass how they respond to it. So let's get a dice roll for them.
Hopefully not well. Fuck me.
Dang it.
You see as a couple manage to make it out, but despite their most acrobatic effort, these things are not graceful creatures. They're clumsy, and some of them, as they get past and they laugh that your spell didn't get them, a panicking, slipping, falling goblin just grabs the one to try to pull themselves out, and instead pulls the other one down as they are ingested by the sand, and
Wrapped in a
only
bucket.
a few even make it through. You're looking at 4 goblins coming at you from the initial group.
Good shit.
Dang, 11 kills.
The 4 that are in front of you come charging at you with their spears, and they're going to roll a group attack roll versus your armor rating, which is a 2. So you'll roll a d10 plus 2 versus the goblins d20. The goblins make a good strike.
Too.
Okay.
That's pretty good. You know, you're not going to take too much.
Right.
As the goblins come crashing into you, you brace for impact as the first one's spear comes right at your chest, and as you feel the spear point begin to pierce into your flesh, the stick that he's holding just snaps, and while you are bleeding from the impact, it falls. It didn't pierce into you enough to even stay in you once the pressure was removed. That goblin then kind of clumsily slaps into your thigh and stomach area, as they are even shorter than you are.
Oh wow.
The next one jumps over and does stab into you a little bit with all of his might with a dagger piercing into your shoulder, but it hits your collarbone first, so the blade more bruises, punches you, and then slices the top of your shoulder a little bit, and then the 2 other goblins just kind of get caught up on their buddies before they can even start to strike you.
They've got to rip it out.
However,
Wow.
on the other side, we've got a goblin horde coming in from on Tavish's side. Tavish, with his 2 in initiative, you're peering around to try to see what's in front, and when you hear them behind it, you start to turn around when you start getting pelted by a wave of arrows. So we will roll some arrows first versus your armor rating. You should have an armor rating of 6 plus a d10.
From the way you're describing their size compared to us, it's like they're throwing pebbles at a mountain at this point.
Yeah.
Basically. So not the best roll from the goblins, and let's see that armor rating roll for Tavish.
Ah!
Right. And so
Wow.
you feel the arrows like hitting on your armor, but for the most part, you're like, wait, are they attacking me, or is it just like the dust from the ceiling, like plinking onto me? However,
That's hilarious.
as all of the goblins start like getting like close to you, and you start feeling them like pulling on the straps of your armor, on the sheath of your sword, on your plate mail, things like that. In your
He's
current
enough.
state, Tavish, on your turn, you will be in the anarchy state. The rest of you are all still just at uncontrolled, with the exception of Sequoia. And next up is Orlina's turn. Orlina.
I'm over here like, which side am I even really attacking on? Am I? Because I'm on.
You're right behind me.
Tavish than I am. I'm right behind you.
Yeah.
They're still
So I got
coming at me. Oh, they're still coming. Yeah, go ahead.
So like they got like I got like the first two are kind of like falling, and then the other two are kind of like falling on top. So there's like a little like huddle in front of me. So
Is it bad that I feel like I would try to reach over Sequoia? And no, I don't want to do that. That sounds bad. I'm over here like they tried to like stab her and didn't make it, because if I was Sequoia, I would like take that shit off.
Stab.
But
Stab.
stab. But what I think what's gonna happen, I don't know. What are the goblins? I know they're just in a pile, but like, what do they look like? Are they like?
So
still,
you've
like,
got
or like
one is at like one is at Sequoia's like waist, and it's dropping its stick, and it's starting to just like reach up to like grapple. One is like on top of that one, like over his shoulders, like trying to stab at Sequoia's shoulder. The other two you can't really see because it's around Sequoia and the other two.
All right, so I think we're gonna go with. I feel like I don't know. I feel like I don't want to waste an arrow. That sounds horrible, but I'm not gonna do it. So they're right there, and they're like bite size. So we're not gonna use the arrows. We're gonna use the dagger, but we're gonna do the thing, and we're gonna glaze. We're gonna glaze it, and we're gonna get to stabbing.
All right, let's see
PTSD.
some stabbing rolls.
A few slices. Oh, okay. That's not.
Then glaze
not
your
the
dice.
I believe you are trained
Get
in
to slicing.
Weapons Light, yes. And then so
Yes.
let's roll a goblin defense. So a D10. They have no modification to this, so just a D10.
Get to slicing.
Well,
Shit.
so that is that is just a 7, not a 17.
Oh,
It is
okay.
that.
Gotcha.
And so
I got at least one of them.
one of the goblins manages to like back up and get away. However, you just stab the one that's like on like the shoulder of the other one, and then you just like carve through him and bring your knife down into the head of the one under. You see the third and fourth goblin, so you just kind of like reach forward to stab one, and one you get, and you get him right in the gut, and he starts to like slump over. The last one just turns and is starting to run when he runs right back into the quicksand and starts to like slip, fall, and die. The one goblin you stabbed in the gut is like laughing, like he's just on the floor laughing as he like plays with his guts basically and makes his wound worse. And then we go into We'll go into Tavish's turn. You both rolled 2s, but Tavish, you're closer to the foe, so we'll go in order.
Oh, okay.
I will attempt to turn around and then start stabbing.
All right, to turn around, we will have you roll a sturdiness check. So you have
Cool.
you
So
are
I've got a
trained this.
one.
You've got a 1 in this, and however you are in anarchy, so you will roll twice and choose the
Twice
lower
and
of the 2.
lowest.
13,
Okay.
not bad.
Not bad. Not bad.
Come on. Fuck me.
Oh.
Mm.
So, as you try to like turn, they're like you like step a foot back, and you think to yourself like strong, sturdy movements. That's what's going to get me through this. So as you bring that leg back, you step down directly onto a goblin. You crush him from skull to shin with the step of your boot. However, with him underneath your foot, as you try to pivot, you pivot faster than expected. Your leg slips out from underneath you. You slap down onto the ground, and you feel 3 goblins die beneath just your body weight, like slapping down onto the floor as they were so close to your joints. You are now prone, but still have a combat action.
I don't like this.
They're like grapes.
Right?
I'm just gonna start stabbing with my knife at anything that gets like.
Apparently.
I am facing them away from Epsilon, correct?
Correct. Yes, you did turn around.
Okay.
You were just like you're on your back and butt now.
I'm
Epsilon's
going to
in
start.
horror.
I'm just
I
going to
can't
start
see it.
stabbing at goblins that move within range, knowing that I cannot stab Epsilon by accident. Like it's just
Let's see it.
stab.
2 attack rolls, taking the lowest.
Get the stabbing.
Just get the stab.
Stab. Fuck.
Damn.
And we will roll that goblin D10 defense to see if they can beat your 5.
No.
No. You're not able to reach a whole lot of them in your position, but the couple that are around like your thighs and whatnot, you just stab. You stab like 1, you stab 2, and then on your 3rd stab, you're able to catch 1 in the chest, and as you like move across, you skewer a 2nd goblin on your knife as you just like plunge them against the wall. And so you slay 4 goblins with your knife swings. And then Epsilon, it is your turn.
I
How
would
many
like.
goblins are on his side? I don't think you said.
In his
Another
current
50.
state, he has not been able to get a good judge on how many goblins are
okay.
there, as he was facing away from them and then slipped.
Okay. Because
I
on
would
our
like-
side, I remember we said 15 to 20. Go ahead. Sorry.
Like to turn around to see in the caboose.
As you turn around, for you, it's a lot easier. You turn around, there's about like 9 or 10 goblins, give or take. 2 of which that are like on, like still like on Tavish. They're on shins, just like stabbing into his plate mail armor, accomplishing nothing as their knives blunt and dent on his armor. But there are some goblins who are like readying their next wave of bow shots.
And since he's laying down, right, I can see these individuals back there doing all this. I'm like crouched down, and I just want to like point 2 fingers and just like shoot a ray of fire at them.
Let's see it. A ray of fire.
Oh my god.
Damn.
That Joe was really trying to be extra low for a second. It was really trying to be super low.
I was like, man, I'm about to get torched.
That's why I didn't just blow them up.
The goblins don't have a defense against this style, so we will go to a reaction roll of a D20 for them to see how the goblins respond to this happening.
Right. Not very well.
So low.
As this ray of fire, like you shoot it and you kind of like arc, it's not hard to arc it a little bit, like from one side of the tunnel to the other. You don't have an amazing amount of control. Some of the flames lap over Tavish's armor, and some light scorch marks like up like on like his shoulder pads and stuff. Not enough for him to even feel the heat like of the spell. The goblins, though, are just cut in a swath, burning, falling on top of each other. Some of them let loose their arrows in a panic. Their arrows just pepper the goblins all over Tavish as arrows just plink harmlessly around him. But to the goblins, they pierce their flesh from back to front. They grip the arrowheads and they cave over, crying out in pain. The remaining goblins are like, "You gotta get out of here!" and 2 goblins lived the ordeal and are trying to run down out of the hallway.
Better get him.
Oh God, yeah, I guess.
Don't let
Guess
him
I do.
escape.
Going. Ray of Doom, round 2. Ah!
Let's see it. This does not count as forced action. As it does not count as a forced action as the combat is over.
Oh.
Oh,
It was almost a
so-
one, though.
So, as Tavish is kind of brushing himself off, he shifts up a little bit. In the confines of this area, it would be a very tight shot. Would you fire anyway, knowing that Tavish would be partially within the line of fire?
Nah, it's not worth all that. I will hold. He figures power. He's like, nah, you live.
Matt, he put it to the side though. What are we doing?
It's not like that. It's the
Epsilon is a gangster now.
I know, right? No, you
this
good,
is how
bro.
I
That's what,
fight
he
people.
that's what he has to do.
You
to
over
pay off his
there.
debts.
nah.
As
This is what it's
Party-
come to.
I'll have to spear gun somebody next time.
continues onwards through the winding hallway, you find yourself in yet another straight hallway.
All these damn hallways.
The normal 14-foot tall ones.
Yes,
Or like
a normal
So
height.
tight.
Conditions of
Whoa.
uncontrol and anarchy are now removed as you
I'm so
head
excited.
down, and then you enter, or you don't enter. You're at the end of the hallway that you see. There's a door, or doorway, I should say. As you stand at the entrance to the doorway, you see an oddly large room. This room is almost like it could have been a meeting place, like a trading center, maybe almost like a town square within this these old trade routes. You are at the entrance of this room under your control party.
Looking around,
Well, that's a little odd.
I feel like my
Whoa.
my
That's
loot's
I think
quite
I missed something.
ingenious.
I mean,
This is a
Feel like,
great
What
place to
happened
defend from. Now I understand how the orcs hope to hold this.
I'm over
Like
here
a-
do we need to look around?
that's what I'm thinking. It's time to round, see what's
Despite its space, there is only one entrance, or there is only one other entrance or exit, which is on the opposite side of the room. There are little coves that you see kind of along the walls, but they look like that's where you would set up temporary shops almost. They're cutouts where a cart could almost park near or around them, and then you would kind of set up your little storefront from there.
So it's like a marketplace.
It's
I
like a
want to
city
go
square.
in.
Do we hear anything?
No.
As soon as I see Epsilon
It is
try to go
very-
forward, I grab his arm and be like, "Wait, lad, this is a perfect place for an ambush. Each one of
Yeah.
those places might hold something or someone. Best
It
we
like-
move
I said-
quietly."
dim in here,
I'm sorry.
What?
dimly lit in here.
You can see pretty clearly, but there are areas that you just physically can't see into from where you are.
Okay.
Is there something that he can light?
Huh?
Is there I don't know whether I don't want to say
Like,
some kind
You
of,
say like a
weird
Skyrim when you go in the
chandelier
in the underground, you go on Blackreach and you light everything up. Just
Yep.
nah.
Can I
In cinematic epic, you're always
Look, there's
welcome
torches, and then there's
can I
torches.
aura sight to see if I can feel anybody
to try. Of course.
here?
Let's get a roll.
Yeah, please do. Please look
Please
around.
be a
Okay.
good one. Come on.
That's
Okay,
pretty,
not
pretty
terrible,
average.
but she.
Yeah.
This isn't a skill that you have mastered. However, you know the general concepts. while you can't get an idea of exact positionings or anything like that, you definitely can tell that there is life in the room. Whether you're like, if it's showing up like this, it would have to be a really large plant, which we haven't seen any of, or there is something or someone in the room.
Can I sense
she
like the maliciousness, or is that still something that's like a skill that I haven't quite like mastered?
That would be a skill you haven't mastered yet.
Gotcha. Okay.
I was gonna say, can she tell from where in the room?
The best thing I can say to that is, with how you're sensing it, it's clearly not in the part of the room that you can see.
Okay.
Like you do feel it off to the sides, like the walls, etc.
All right. So guys,
can I
there's
play-
definitely some people hiding in here. I can sense like they're here, but I don't know exactly where.
Then
Like,
it
there's a
sounds
lot
like we
of-
might have to
like a
draw
lot.
them out.
What do you have in mind?
How would you like to put on a show there, Epsilon, with some fire?
Oh. Oh.
I'll stand at the
I knew
door
this was
and
where
the
we're
rest of you stand behind. We put some fire into the room to grab their attention, and then they have to come to us up through this doorway.
Isn't there another exit on the other side?
That's
Yeah,
where
that's
you
what he said,
place
there's
the
only one
fire.
other.
Well, don't we have
Can
we,
we
have
keep-
to get through the room to go to the other side, and then to get through there, that's what we have to walk through all those little cubbies where there's people on there. So, like,
Aye, but if Epsilon can set something on fire on the far side, they can't escape through that door. They have to come to us.
can you do that from a distance, or do you have to be like over there?
I mean, it comes from me, but I can aim and do stuff like that. My question is, what is the like the door area made of? I just want to make sure that
It's all stone. Yeah.
okay, yeah, it's not gonna like collapse or some shit like that. I was like, that could be a
That would
thing.
suck.
I could do that. But before that, I just wanna sort of look around with my eyes and see like are there any like traces of magic in the room, anything like that? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, let's get a roll. Arcane.
Okay.
Very nice.
No. No magical presence.
All right, that's fine with me. All right, well, so kind of like, well, I guess he's gonna put his hands together. He's gonna look back like, is this what we're doing?
Does anybody
Well,
else have any
if there-
ideas? I'm open to them.
I mean, if there are
Let's
people
give
in
it a
here,
shot.
drawing them out might be the best.
I mean,
thing
because we
to
don't
try
know
to
like,
do.
if they're any more of like the goblins or bad guys or whatever. They could just be
Yeah.
like people. I mean, so we're not directly attacking them. If you just kind of like cover the other exit, they can just come out.
It
and
is.
see.
We have gone far
Worth a
beyond
try.
not killing the
It's
goblins
worth-
at this point.
Okay, but the
we are
goblins were
beyond
attacking
that.
us. I mean, that's
A
kind of like
fire roll.
Those first goblins
Self-defense.
didn't do nothing. I want to like.
it was self-defense. you
Oh
know?
my god. Oh, not this.
That was not self-defense, lass. That was
I
me
wanna,
killing
like-
them.
As the fireball
They were attacking us first.
is sent across the room, it lands perfectly in the doorway, and a blaze keeps going. Though there isn't anything for the fire itself to feed off of, the arcane is keeping this fire, unnaturally burning. When
Magic fire.
goblins like scuttle out from the sides, and they're like, "What happened?" And they just start like trying to pat it like with blankets that start blazing up. And let's get just a
Of course.
miscellaneous goblin roll real quick.
Jesus Christ, they would probably
How
put
many
it
of
out
them
with
get caught on
blankets.
fire? That'd be great.
For the most part, they're pretty competent at dealing with the fire, though they do keep. While none of them are scorched to death, they do keep like trying to like pat it, and then they're like ah, and then like have to put their like hands on the stone and like dry like
Shoot
get it
it
off. They start just throwing like cobblestone. They just like are like piling stone on top of the fire to get it to like be snuffed out, and throwing blankets and like buckets of half water on it.
Where are
Shoot it
the?
everywhere.
Are they just like all in the same area trying to put this out, or are they like around
Yes,
it?
there are 8 goblins
Yep.
around your fire. Like,
Where did this even come from?
I just want to
Hit 'em again.
I just want to
It's at
pull
that
the
point.
fire from the fire
Mhm.
onto the goblins.
I
So
was
it's like
gonna say,
it's
get it
still
again.
there, but it's
Let's-
spread it onto
yeah.
the goblins.
let's see it.
We're firebending now.
Right?
That's what I've always been doing.
So, you do have mastery. Would you like to roll it?
Yeah, let me go ahead and see that second
Do
one.
it. Do that shit.
Please.
see that
don't
second
do-
roll.
Don't do me dirty. That's all I ask. Oh, it
Look
Look
wanted
at
to.
that.
Oh, yeah.
That one
Right.
wanted to.
Try.
Oh, yeah.
No, you're
They
able
call
to
me the Goblin
expand
Killer.
the fire out, and the 8 goblins are just incinerated on the spot. They squeal and flail around. You hear voices from the side yelling like, "Stop, drop, and roll" or something, and like they try, but as they just roll around, in their cries of agony are unaided, and that they are just corpses now lying there. A couple other goblins like come out and they're like,
Well, I mean, I guess we can just eat them.
and
Do it again.
one of them brings out like gestures, and you see this larger reptilian creature being like led out from one of the coves, and you are looking at
Get him. Get him.
You didn't get him?
this
Get 'em.
What
Get
the hell?
Is that a dinosaur?
Oh, hell no. That's
Kill
my
it with
cousin.
fire.
Freaking we got a freaking
It,
T-Rex going on right here.
It stands
That's
it
Ricky.
stands pretty tall.
That's my boy
It
Ricky.
is it is about 8 feet from ground to its shoulder. It has a long neck that currently is very like hunched backwards on itself, and it stands out there and it starts just eating the dead goblins. A couple other goblins like come out and they're like looking above the door like did a torch fall?
How far are they?
Oh.
How far is that other door from where we are?
They're on the other side of the room. The other side of the room is about maybe 70-ish feet, somewhere around there.
Just doing some covert dumb fire tactics.
I turn
Oh.
to Orlena. Orlena, do you think you could hit that with an arrow?
That's what I was gonna try to do, but I want to glaze.
Would
it
you
first.
mind? I'm glad that we're thinking the same thought.
All right.
Can I?
I'm over here
I
like,
Open up an arrow?
is it facing us?
No.
Okay.
oh,
Because in my mind, I'm thinking, is there a soft spot? And I don't know if I can assess that, or if anyone can assess that.
Well, you could roll a survival check or a knowledge nature.
We're gonna. Yes, because I want to see if I can determine where the best place to try to shoot it is.
You do have a in
have-
nature. Let's
I have
find out.
survival and nature. I have both.
Get that D20 roll.
Ah,
Can
you're-
I?
Hmm?
Can I roll? Wait, is it nature? No, I have religion. Never mind. I apologize. Nothing.
You're not super familiar with this species or anything like that, but in general, if it follows kind of the reptilian style that you're familiar with, or like at least like the lizard kind of like genetics, it would have a softer underbelly than it would anywhere else, and typically it's kind of color denoted between like a darker, more like tanned hide versus like a lighter, more flexible one.
but he's facing away from us, so it's like his back is to us.
Correct.
anything?
We taking the shot?
Do you think you can hit
I
it?
feel like that would. I don't know. Its back is to us. It's probably just gonna bounce right off.
But
Oh,
if
I
it
get
faces us, you
Yeah.
Okay. What if I
Cover me.
Oh,
Tavish walks out and clangs his sword along the
Okay.
stone to gather the attention of the goblins and this creature. As he
The
strikes
goblins,
into
pull
the
the
room.
arrow, and I'm glazing it. Oh God.
the goblins turn, the creature turns, the goblins point, and from like the catacombs, goblins with bows start all like coming out and aiming at the door, and 3 more of those creatures come charging out from the side paths, and they are charging the party. So let's get ourselves another initiative roll.
not the initiative.
Of course, there's 3 more.
Oh!
Hey, baby.
No.
All
Is that
right,
20?
all right, all right.
Yeah.
That's 20?
Damn.
Okay,
Is that a
well,
It's not
20?
good for me though.
Where's your effect? Is Tavish
I
not
didn't-
like
all right,
that?
all right.
Yeah,
Tavish is
Tavish
a
not
man
like
of
that.
many a few words, and he's not
No
very flashy.
flourishes. No flourishes.
All right, and let's get
No.
a roll for our goblin horde.
Oh my gosh. This is bad for me. Come on, guys. Okay. At least they
It's
weren't
bad
good
for them,
either.
Go higher than them.
All right, so Tavish, you have the beginning of our turn. You are currently in control, and there are, like I said, 4 of those large lizard creatures running at you. 2 are closer than the other 2, and a wave of goblins at their feet. Some goblins are just getting crushed or eaten along the way as the creatures run, and goblins are preparing their bow volley from the sides.
That they also ain't gonna do shit. You gotta get it and hope it's not a Hydra.
I prepare myself. Wow, I prepare myself to go after one of the creatures. I'm just gonna call them the spikebacks because I don't know what they're actually called. Gonna prepare myself to go after one of them and kind of like. I'm guessing the throat top of the chest area is more where I'm going to aim for, because that seems to be in line with where I can stab easily, and just kind of go for a thrust into the chest of one of the creatures.
Let's see it.
No.
Oh!
I do
I-
believe I have mastery for.
Ooh.
I have 2 points in.
So
Blade,
not
does that-
mastery. So actually, it's a crit 1 anyway, so you wouldn't get mastery regardless.
I mean, mastery anyway.
And so
That's
as
unfortunate.
you stab out with your blade, it connects with the underhide, but the point of your blade skips up and it slides over its shoulder, and the creature gets like right on top of you. And as it like runs its chest into you, you are going to roll a sturdiness check.
I have one in
Sturdiness.
that.
Tavish does have 1.
Jesus
What
Christ.
is up with this? I get a 20 and then I get punished for it afterwards? Dice, why?
Yes.
Why?
That's exactly what's happening.
Tavish, you are sent
Oh my
to
God.
your back, as this
Okay.
dungeon apparently often does for you. As the creature and the hordes are beginning to get around you, you are currently in uncontrolled, but unless acted upon by their turn, you will be in anarchy. And let's go to our next person in turn order, Sequoia.
Okay. What's the cavern, the hallway that we're in? What's it made out of stone? Is it all just stone?
It's all just stone. And the room in front of you is much more stone than where you are currently. And it's
Okay.
like very cobbled stone, very like brick and mortar.
Stone all over.
Okay. It's still technically earth material, so let me try earthbending and like
She's gonna try.
see if I can like
She's gonna try.
Right.
like pull
rocks
some
at
of the cobblestones from the ground and like kind of like wrap it and like bury the creature that's like on Tavish. So that's right in
Perfect.
front of
Let's
Tavish.
see it.
Okay.
Please.
He's trying to.
Nope.
Oh. She's trying to
as-
stone the Gorgon.
The stones, you start building up like a wave of stones on either side. It doesn't feel fully controlled. Would you force the spell to its completion, or would you drop it?
No, I would drop it. I'd be afraid of actually burying Tavish.
The stones harmlessly fall back into place, though a couple of goblins are killed in the upheaval. All right, Epsilon.
Oh, okay.
Goblin archers prepare from the sides. These creatures are running up. One is right above Tavish, like looming over him to strike. Another one is like next to Tavish, but running past him. The other two are behind them and are currently not within a threat range.
Okay.
Are the goblins
What
a
I'm gonna
threat
do-
for real?
And
many,
then there are hordes of goblins at their feet swarming around.
What are the how many pockets of archers are there like around the room?
There are probably you wager like 8 pockets of goblins. Each pocket's somewhere between 3 and 7.
Okay. Well, what I want to do.
Just flamethrower these bitches.
I can't just go willy-nilly. I learned my lesson a long time ago about just throwing fire around with no cares. So what I'm gonna do is, he's gonna go and grab the sword, and I just want to do like a flaming slash that kind of goes above Tavish to try to get the goblins off my boy. You know what I'm saying? Back up. You know.
All right, I like it. Let's see it. Let's see this flaming slash roll.
Oh,
I wanted to be a 20.
it was
And
so
I believe
close.
you do have mastery fire. Yes, you do.
Oh, true. Yeah.
So we will roll on mastery fire.
Yeah, we know we got to do that. Always trying to be. Oh, that's much better.
Hey.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
This wave of fire goes out. The goblins around Tavish are completely just like taken out, giving him like a good little 5-foot buffer of goblins. However, we will roll a sturdiness check for the creature standing over Tavish, as this spell would hit it in its like ankles, shins. So sturdiness check for it.
Damn.
Oh,
Damn.
It cares not.
I would like to then follow up.
Ooh, force an action. I love it.
Yeah, as do my station of having took this force action feat. I must use these force actions. So I'm gonna. I'm trying to decide. I feel like he's gonna look at the thing standing over Tavish as more important to deal with than the goblin shooting these fucking toothpick ass arrows at us. So he's gonna.
Damn, toothpick.
He's gonna like. I guess he's gonna follow up that slash with like another, I guess, just and try to put like more behind it. Because the first one he's like trying not to like crisp up Tavish, but the second one, since it's standing up, he's gonna like really try to come back with some strength and just throw.
Get him with
Nice.
the backhand.
Yeah.
Let's see it.
We hear
This is
arrows
from
snapping
the
like pretzel sticks.
from the narrative, a free forced action, so it is at a slightly lowered version of forced action. So 13, you do have mastery. Would you like to roll it?
Yes, please. I'm just like,
All right, we're gonna roll it.
the day-
Higher roll is kept unless it is a 1.
Oh, it
Holy
really
fuck.
wanted to be
Oh.
bad.
Good
Oh,
for
Jesus.
you that it wasn't a 1 though. So the 13 rides. The blaze goes out and it slams across the creature's chest. In this instance, as you're not trying, it wouldn't be in its shins. We're just going to roll against its stalwartness. So stalwart check for the creature.
Hey,
Yes!
it rolled low.
Nice.
The creature's underbelly is singed and burnt, and it squeals as it falls backwards, swiping across its chest. It's on its back, writhing in agony. Next up, we have the goblins' turns. So the larger creature that is still on its feet is going to be charging past Tavish up towards Epsilon, who is now kind of taken the place at the forefront of the group. And as it's like reaching up towards you, its head extends out at you with an alarming speed. So we're going to roll an attack roll for it, and then a D10 roll for your armor rating. How would you like to define your defense? Like, what would you be doing?
I'm gonna try and like take a little back step, get out of range.
Perfect. So let's see that attack roll. Oh,
Thank God.
not a good one for the
That's
creature.
good.
And
Good.
Thank
that
God.
roll to get
Mhm.
out of the way from Epsilon. He's on a D10. He's on a reduced modifier though because of his narrative. So let's see it.
My dice
Okay.
are
Oh,
sad.
but a 9 will still do it. The creature,
Okay.
the speed of the attack like comes out. You could tell if it wasn't for its aim being off, your dodge would have like fell right into its like preferred method of striking, as its jaws clamp down like right beneath your arm, like right in like the vacancy as you like pull your limbs back. You're like, oh my goodness, as it clacks its jaws together so hard, it's audible. Goblins fire out arrows in general at the party. They would be firing more towards Orlina and Sequoia. So let's see how the goblins roll their arrows.
Talking about these arrows that are
No.
made out of pretzel stick.
Hey! And we're going to
Raise
get
an appetite.
a D10 roll for both Orlina and Sequoia.
What the
Oh.
fuck?
My
Where's
God.
mine?
All right, and
Please
for
tell me.
Sequoia?
I was like, where's mine at? Please tell me I did something better.
That's
Okay.
pretty good.
Oh,
Perfect. All right. Sequoia, you're able to like step to the side of like the room and get behind the lip, and you hear the arrows like plinking around. Orlina, you were like you're glazing that arrow. You're like, wait, Tavish is just gonna walk in there. Then what am I even doing? So you like step out to like figure out what's going on. You're like, all right, so there's a bunch of them. And the arrows start raining in, and just like they're not like super like deep, but you do have like a plethora of arrows like stuck into your body.
Got a bunch of sticks in you now. Look at you.
You all
Pretty
right?
much. Like a porcupine.
He said, "Are you all right?"
Before Orlina's turn to see
I mean-
if this has taken some of the wind from your sails, we are going to roll your resiliency. So we're going to get a resilience roll for Orlina. She is trained in this skill.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty
Okay.
good.
Bam.
Despite the pain, you're able to take your turn as normal.
Cool. I was going to say resiliency sounded like a good one, so okay. All right. So is the one that was attacking Tavish is like kind of down for the count. He doesn't know what to do. He's like, "Oh no."
Yeah,
I'm on fire."
it's
Or
like,
is he
no, I'm
still
on
coming?
fire. No, he's on his back currently, writhing in agony.
Okay, cool. So what's the next? But the other.
And then one is
Three.
at the entrance, like very close to Jin, with its neck fully extended, just clamped
Jin.
its mouth shut. Epsilon. And then the other two are running towards the room still.
Running towards us, so they're not even in
Yes.
there.
They're running like towards you, like towards the hallway that you are all in.
Okay, well, I'm over
Or
here like,
towards,
These
which
are,
one
these are the,
is
cre-
in
the
range?
creatures that are still running, or the
Everything. The goblins and them, yes.
Okay.
There aren't as many
I-
goblins in close range because of the first fire swipe that Epsilon did.
Ha
Okay.
See? Okay. Ooh.
Sorry, I feel like I would try to get to the ones closer to me, I guess, that are running towards us, because I feel like me and Sequoia are relatively in the same area.
So the
yeah,
closest
no,
one
with
would be
my
the
arrow.
one fighting Epson.
Oh, okay. So we gonna go for him first, because why not?
Perfect. Let's see it. Let's see that
Shoot
that
him,
attack.
and, you
roll.
know.
Big mug. Get this man out of my face.
Okay. Because there's
Not a
good
bad
chance.
roll. Not a bad roll.
What
And
if I'm
we
using
all
my
will
arrows?
see. It's D10 for its armor rating first, and then we'll go into that.
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
I presume this is the arrow that you had prepped, so this is a laughing arrow.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it punctures into like an area like right into the neck area, the more soft bendy material of its like underhide, and the creature like lurches back and starts to like stagger around a little bit, and it's going to roll on its resistance check. So we're gonna make a resistance check for it real quick. The creature doesn't seem to like it doesn't seem to laugh, as it doesn't look like it has like the capability to. However, whatever hold that the goblins had on it seems to like have like broken, and the creature has a much different like it's like looking, and it is running up towards the party, but it isn't running like in the same malicious manner. It almost looks like a more like animalistic, like why is this going on? Yeah,
It's like I gotta get out of
Like
here.
it's scared and it doesn't know what it's doing. Okay.
Yeah, it's like I need to escape.
and we are back to Tavish.
Okay.
I would like to get up, and if the creature is still writhing on the ground, I'd like to just dispatch it by plunging my sword into its chest.
Damn.
Let's see a
Mercy
roll
kill?
for an
Okay.
attack. It
Right.
is not versus its armor rating, but we will still roll in case you roll another one.
Mercy kill. Damn.
An 18, you're able to easily just plunge your blood into the creature's chest, up at an angle a little bit, and it stops wiggling and slumps down immediately.
I then pull my blade out, and there's plenty. Are there a lot of goblins coming at me still?
Oh,
You
yes.
mentioned that there was
Many.
one wave. I would go ahead and do a forced action of, slicing into a number of those goblins to help reduce their numbers.
Let's see it.
Bye, bitch. Bye, bitch.
That's an 11.
With the
76.
reduction for the forced action, but the plus for it is a trained skill, you are able to slice through multiple goblins. You're slicing through, we'll say 6 goblins, easily and without too much effort.
Understood? I'll keep going.
And do you want to do another
No,
first
no,
action?
like... My apologies. Like, great, that's me going. I'm going to stop there. That's the end of my turn. Or dispatch that one.
Goya?
Okay, so what exactly am I seeing coming at me now? Like,
So there is the panicked looking creature that doesn't look necessarily as hostile as the other two do, charging at you, and there you see Tavish slicing through like waves of the goblins coming towards the group, and you see the archers preparing another.
Okay, I want to again attempt to move the cobblestones and like hurl them up at the archers.
Okay. Let's get a roll for it.
Oh, better.
All right.
Taking him out.
You start to like lift the cobblestone, and now that you're not focused on not hurting somebody, you just kind of launch like a wave of cobblestone, like shrapnel, up towards these archerways, and like goblins are splattered, splintered, smushed, crushed, and broken. The ones on the opposite side of the wall who didn't receive this just drop their bows and start scurrying through cracks in the wall and portholes and like down the hallway.
Oh,
We're like, great success.
How many more do we have?
Right.
Next up, we've got Epsilon. You've got 2 charging creatures and 1 that's kind of running by you.
all right. Well, I'm gonna aim at the one that's charging. One of the ones that's charging in. Whichever one would be would get here first, right? I was gonna like bring his hands together, and then pull back like he's like shooting a bow, and fire a firebolt into the chest of the like I said, the one that's charging the fastest.
Let's see it. I dig it.
I like it. No!
Oh! This
No,
is
I
a
don't like
hell
it anymore.
Let's just
I
say
don't like it
hell
anymore.
no.
All right, you cannot re-roll that with mastery because of the crit 1. So you pull out this flaming arrow, and you're like, I am gonna shoot that monster. And as you go to loose the shot, the creature running by you, its tail hits your elbow. So instead of aiming towards the creature, you aim out towards the right and you let it go. Tavish, roll me a stalwart check.
No.
I knew he was gonna hit somebody. Damn it!
I knew. I was like, who's in his line of sight?
Yep.
Okay, Tavish is
This
fine.
man's armor, his
Don't
armor
have
is made of
stalwart.
adamantium.
Okay, but you still
Right.
had sense.
You are able to stay like on your feet, but the explosion hits you hard. You take a couple of steps forward, and you can definitely tell that the back of your armor is like rent. It is hot. It is dented. It is bent, and you're probably on fire.
Let's stay fucking this
Probably
man's
on
armor up.
Would you like to force an action, Epsilon?
Yes, I would like to move to my left approximately 6 feet and then do the same thing.
All right, let's see it.
I want to get out of the
This
way
is-
of this man so that I can do this again.
Tavish better
Let's
be
get
rolling.
another attack roll.
I'm just gonna pretend that it didn't happen.
Stop, drop,
Just
and
ignore
roll.
it. It's fine. That's something.
So you have a 13, a 14 with your bonus, back to a 13 with the fact that the forced action, but reduced because of your narrative. Would you like to use your mastery?
I feel like something about seeing that one makes me scared, but I feel like I should, so I'm gonna go
Let's
ahead.
do it. We're rolling mastery.
Something about seeing that one come up makes me concerned.
Okay.
It didn't
We're
do
gonna
anything.
keep the first. We're gonna keep the first roll. The shot goes flying out, and we are going to roll a quick stalwart check for the creature as an attack impacts on it.
Okay.
The creature, it carves into its underbelly, and it pushes through and pops on the inside, and the creature slumps down and falls like just almost instantaneously.
Damn. And I just hit him in the back with one of those. He's just thinking like, damn, I'm cool. Sorry about your back.
The goblin horde, seeing that 2 of their creatures have been dispatched, 1 is running away, quickly call off their assault. Goblins start fleeing in all directions. The creature itself seems to like be called somewhere and is starting to run down the opposite like hallway, like away from you towards the other way.
We gotta
Gotta get
capture
it
one
with
of them.
another one.
We gotta capture one of these goblins. We have to get one of them. Boy, grab one of them with something.
I was gonna grab one.
I was gonna say, I was like, can I try to like block its path with like kind of set up a little stone wall
Sure.
to block its path from exiting? Since I can do that now. I can
And you're trying to set up a stone path for who, sorry?
For the creature that's running around. We want to try to block it so we can catch it.
To block its
I was
path.
Alright,
saying,
let's see
I was saying one of the goblins, y'all.
Oh. Are we catching the goblins? I thought we were catching the creature. That is definitely not happening. That.
As you are like you pull up a wall super quickly with the cobblestone. However, as like it's being built, goblins are like the floorboards or the cobblestones pulled out from underneath them. They fall. Cobblestones pack them in like mortar. And then the creature impacts on the wall and stone debris go flying out. Like shrapnel goblins are just ripped apart from these stone, like this stone. The creature is hobbled. It's clearly broken some of its arms, and you hear it run into the hallway where there's like a weird thud noise. And then the room falls silent as you are alone.
Somebody could have scooped one of them goblins up, just yanked them up because they was like this big.
Right.
Are any of these
See if
goblins
there's any
nearby?
survivors.
Yeah, can we see if there's
Did
surviving
any of them
goblins?
survive?
Any survivors?
No.
Okay.
They
Well.
did. They dead as hell.
Well, some of them ran off. So.
Just looking around, like poking around with like the tip of my sword, just like that's charred up goblin.
That's
That
a
one got
dead
crushed.
I'd like
That's a dead
to look
one.
at.
He looks like he might. Oh no,
One of
he's
these.
dead too.
Jin would
I'd
try
like to
eat
look at
those
one of these
burnt up goblins.
creatures.
Jin would try to
Man.
find goblins.
Respecting
Oh.
my name. If they talking, I ain't eating them.
Well,
So,
they're not
Tavish,
talking
you
right
wanted to
now,
look
are
at
they?
one of
They're
the
all
creatures?
kind of. They've been cooked.
All right, yeah. Tavish is trying to look at one
Yeah.
of the creatures.
I wanted to look at one of the creatures and kind of be like, do I recognize this from any story in history? Like, is this mentioned?
Of course.
No. So you have seen them vaguely before, but you saw them in the context of like bizarre and wild creatures from distant lands, like in circuses, or like from like some of the stories you heard from weird creatures on like export trades, like from ports and stuff like that. You'd never seen one like in person.
Do I get any kind of sense of kinship with these creatures?
They are not draconian in any way.
Oh, thank God. I don't know what that would have meant for me, but
So,
he would eat them.
the
Those creatures.
party
Like-
heads to the other side of the room.
I
Yeah,
feel like I
I
want
was-
to investigate the shop area, like where you said they looked like you might have put some stuff up before. Just wanna,
So it
poke
is. Yeah, I mean, it like in its state now, it is abandoned probably for quite some time. But you could tell that this is where that would have happened, not that it has happened recently.
hoping maybe the goblins didn't find something, just something good buried in the rubbish.
Adam's like, no.
They're
move on.
too simple. They're too simple-minded. Shiny things attract them. They hoard that, much like their Draklin cousins, much like their Draconoid
Damn.
large dragons.
Damn son.
So I
Dragons
so
think
got demoted.
I'm sorry. Orlin?
I'd like to
Hmm?
take like one of the teeth from each one of the ones of these creatures that we killed for like proof
Mhm.
for later,
Sure.
and just
You
kind of
you
stow them in
grab
a
their like some of their larger like front like gripping teeth.
that's fair.
Gotcha.
Okay.
These will make for a good bit of trade. Trinket.
As the party heads out of the room, they head into another long hallway. This one, however, you see what the thud was as the creature that ran out of the room triggered a trap, like a faulty, like a false floor into a spike pit, and it lays like caught
Oh.
on the spikes of the goblin's own trap. Circumventing this trap is easy for the party now, as it lies open and visible, making it to the next room. A pathway over a drop. On this, you see goblins who, in their panic, fled over the bridge, covered in darts from a dart trap that had activated on either side of the bridge. But in the goblins' stupidity, In their fear, they triggered yet again one of their own traps and perished. The party slowly, methodically makes their way across this bridge. Yet again, a trap. You hear it trigger, but there are no darts left to be fired.
How big were the darts that they shot out? Are they like actually
the-
regular dart sized?
They look like they would have been a Tavish. You wouldn't have been scared of the size and like style that they're made, but they're like thin and like syringe like. So it would have been vicious to light armored party members. As you make it
So,
to
Anthony.
the other side, it is another hallway, but for the first time in this entire tunnel system, there's a sideway. And as you look down this alternate path, you see a large iron door with a mural on it and 4 pedestals. And then there's the main hallway leading further into the cave. Which one would the party like to go to?
Can I sense anything behind the door?
The door itself is magically blocking. There's too much magic in the door to see past.
Okay.
Can I see what
Upon-
kind of magic?
It is rich with an arcane. It is definitely new magic, not anything old. As you all are staring at the door, it has a mural on it. Over 2 of the pedestals is a like this carving of the continent that you all preside on. On one side of it, on the under the western coast, is the Phoenix Lord, a deity who survived through the Age of Darkness. None of you are particularly familiar with his workings in particular, but you do know his domains include things like rebirth and like recreating yourself. It's a sense of cycling. And on the northeastern side of the continent is a deity that escapes you. It both seems familiar and not at all. As you try to think about it, you get this feeling that like at some point you knew this name, but it's been taken from you. Or no. You get the same feeling that you got all the way back in Campaign 1 while you were in the Shattered Pantheon, about these weird true death deities that no longer have a sense, like a grounding in reality, and whose name elude those due to the nature of their demise. Underneath them are 2 pedestals, as if something needs to be placed there to unlock that side. Underneath the other mural is it's far more zoomed in. It's over Aurelian, only it's older Aurelian. In fact, it's over Scone's Rest. The mural itself is something dark, something dire, something heavy. As you examine it more, you see that there are words above the no.
Uh-oh.
Why did it do that? Give me a second, I apologize.
Done fucked up.
What? Are you okay? Are you okay?
Above the first 2, so the one with the Phoenix Lord and the deity whose name eludes you, is written, "His passion brings the ashes of rebirth, from which you can hear my heart beating." Above the other 2 is written, "Love and then death. Mortal labors brought me joy. Mortal labors then brought me death.
And there's 4 pedestals, correct?
There are 4 pedestals, 2 under one of the quotes and 2 under the other.
So, and it seems like we have to place something on these pedestals.
Mhm.
Is there anything around that we can see that like might go on it?
No.
Okay, so we have to go find
But
them.
you are always welcome to also roll intelligence checks to help prompt hints, clues, and reminders.
Can
Intelligence.
I
I was
do
going to say, is
a-
intelligence going to be the only one that helps?
I'm sorry, what was the... or Lena, you had asked, is intelligence the only one that can help?
Mhm.
Let me see if there's a potentially wisdom. Yeah, so a wisdom or intelligence, either one.
Ain't got no wisdom, so
And
over here, then.
Tavish, what was your option?
Can I do a study religion
Study religion?
or knowledge?
Knowledge religion.
I've got
Yeah.
1 point in it, so
Let's see it.
No, please, after you.
Ooh.
And what the 2 were you studying?
I was focusing on the phoenix and then the unknown deity, trying to ascertain, like, all right, if the phoenix is about rebirth and life, then is it safe to assume that the other is about death?
Death.
No known deity of death or close domains that you are aware of in any of your studies looks remotely like the deity pictured.
Okay. Do I know what? I mean, obviously, since we know that it's no longer a name that we remember, is there any sort of indication of like what this deity was responsible for?
No, the mural doesn't give anything other than that. They're kind of artfully spiraling over the continent.
Could I do a like wisdom check to see if it's like an old forest god that I might be familiar with? Like an old like nature god?
Is there anyone else looking to do a test so that way we can just roll these dice at the same time? So Sequoia is going to do a knowledge check.
I guess.
I'm over here like, yes.
Or Lena, would you like to roll like a wisdom or intelligence?
Mhm. A wisdom.
Wisdom.
And the
And-
only thing I got in my bag is study arcane. So I'm not sure if there's an arcane angle here.
Sure. I mean, you can. Similar to studying the doors to see how they worked within the mages thing. You can see how and what the connection points are within the magic. 100%.
Mm-hmm.
So let's
Yep.
get a roll for Sequoia or Lina, and Epsilon. We'll catch them up first, and then we'll move on to secondary rolls for you, Tavish.
Yes. Come on, be something good. Oh, I can't see it. Oh,
13,
look
okay.
at that.
I was close
Yeah,
to
okay,
a 20
okay.
for a second. Then... Are you good?
Epsilon, as you try to study the arcane, it's just so much. Like the pedestals are all clearly arcane as well. Like they're connected directly to the door, so you definitely know something needs to be placed on top of them for them to activate. What or anything past that is eluding you. For Orlina, you're trying, like, you're looking, you're studying, you're going, and it just nothing's really like, this is so out of my field. But as you look over on the door on the right side, so the second of the two doors, something about the word mortal labors brought me joy, love, and then death is like connecting with you as if that should mean something. And then for Sequoia, you're you are 100% sure it is in some way, shape, or form a deity of nature, but no, you are unfamiliar with it. But again, as you look at it, you're like, I should be. I know it. I just, for some reason, don't know it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
What is the depiction of the other one?
One we
not
assume
the Phoenix.
is
the one that, not
death.
the Phoenix, looked like, yeah.
So sorry, which one?
The one that isn't the Phoenix. What is
So-
it
so-
like? What does it look like?
The
On
second
the
pedestal, or the second pedestal, or the other deity? Which are you?
The other
guys doing?
deity.
Sorry. The other
Sorry.
deity. It is a woman. She's on a very long flowing robe. She has all of the hallmarks of a deity of nature. There's flowers, there's vines, there's this kind of like wind in nature following in her wake.
And this is the one that was alongside of the Phoenix, yes? Like on
Yes,
that
that
same
is
side?
the one that is on the one with the mural with the phoenix. Yes.
That doesn't sound like death at all.
Is it Hedera?
Well, that one again doesn't have the death quote. The death quote is for the second mural. The second mural is of old. It like looks like Aurelian, but it's like
Okay.
old Aurelian over Sone's
Okay.
Rest. That is the one where the quote is "Lovin' than death. Mortal labors brought me joy. Mortal labors than me death." The first one underneath the two deities, that's the one where it is, "Passion brings the ashes of the earth, from which you can hear my heart beating."
Okay.
But I guess it makes me think, would I know of any like heroic connections to either of these deities? Like, because for some reason, like the Phoenix joint made me think about Aegis.
You
But-
would with that know that the Phoenix Court were a creation from the Phoenix Lord, the Phoenix deity, and that the entirety of the Phoenix Court all used fire magic.
Okay. I mean, okay.
Can I use a knowledge history roll? I'm focusing on the second half. The human labors brought me joy, human labors brought me death.
Mhm.
I feel like that's important and referring to something specific. Can I recall if there was something specific about human labors that a god enjoyed, whether it was like writing or poetry, or whether it was actually something that we created?
Let's see a roll.
Damn.
Even with my 2 in that skill,
Um,
that sucks.
The only feeling that you get as you try to go down the nuts are mortal labors that you've done within your life, and you get too wrapped up in your own thinking of kind of things you've done and where you've been, and it becomes too like personal for you to try to like decipher between. All right, I'm going to prompt everyone for one last
Okay.
dice roll, and then is there anything else that anyone wants to try? 5.
My sword is
dice.
from Aurelia, correct?
Yes.
I want to place that
Dice.
on one of the pedestals.
Would
Okay.
something happen?
As you go to like place the blade above, you feel like almost like a magnetism of it, right? And you're like, oh, cool, and you drop, like you like let it go, but the blade just clacks onto the pedestal and then falls over. However, your hand is like
Caught.
feels like stuck. This is on the one of the pedestal on one of the pedestals on the second mural. The one near the Aurelian stuff.
Well,
The other one over there,
Mhm.
with next to the other of the two pedestals over there, because I'm over here like I don't know if it's his armor or if it's his hand. I guess the other pedestal over there, I want to try to put my hand over it.
As you
Fuck
put
it.
your hand
We're
over
going in.
it, you just go.
I want to see what happens. Okay, I had to try. Okay.
Can I try to touch the one by like the nature god?
Yes.
We're just touching stuff now. Yeah.
You feel a slight pull, but like you could still easily pull your hand out from it.
Okay.
I wanted to. Oh my god. So
Is there anything like
is the
natural around around the outside of the door that like any kind of like earth material that that's not
Yes,
stone?
there is moss.
Okay. Can I like pick up some of the moss and like place it on like the earth pillar?
That one.
As you pull up the moss and like bring it up, it like you watch as like the magic you bring up like is pulled to the center of it, and it like twists and contorts and then becomes this small little moss beating heart.
Ew. I wanna
Guys, we did something.
he literally is doing the same thing I was thinking. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm about to fifth element this shit. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to the
Fire
other.
As soon as you said that, I was like, I'm gonna put a muffin.
Fire
I want
bird.
to see. There's a pillar that is associated
Water.
with the Phoenix person,
Mhm.
god, individual. I want to just put a little bit of fire. Just put a little parcel of fire there. See if that does
Perfect.
something.
The fire erupts into a small blazing little phoenixy bird above the pedestal.
Phoenixy bird.
But then
Alright.
after I do that, I just turn and look
We're
at
figuring it
Tavish
out.
like, what is happening to you? What is he standing in front of?
He is standing in front of the mural that reads, "Love and then death. Mortal labors brought me joy. Mortal labors then brought me death."
And I'm just like looking at him like this, like, what's wrong with you over there, my boy? What's wrong with your shit?
It's the mortal
Or-
labor that brought death. So I don't have a good feeling about this, but okay. So I don't know. I guess I'm gonna use. Can I take one of my regular? Will a regular muffin work? I don't know. I want to try to put a muffin on it.
The
Put a muffin on that thing.
The muffin clicks into the center and hovers there for a second. The door then
Holy crap, that worked.
I don't have a good idea about this, but I don't have a good feeling
And
about this.
one by one, each one of the elements goes. It disappears. Tavish, you feel your hand like get like crushed within your armor a little bit as like the metal like dents and rents in, like the fingers all get tight, but you're like it like ceases and you're still able to like bend your gauntlet, but you're like, that was very unpleasant.
ugh.
I point at him.
hell, lads.
So
What
what
happened
what
to
was
Tim?
that? So what that was gonna
He's
say
waiting
that
by
way
the
earlier.
caravan.
So what was that about, Tavish? Why'd your arm get stuck in there?
Yeah, wasn't yours the
It's-
death one?
The Jeff one.
As I had feared at one point, there's a truth that we have to talk about. We can talk about it here, or we can talk about it when we're done.
We can walk and
And
talk.
on that note, roll initiative.
Oh,
You said what?
the initiative.
Roll initiative.
Oh, roll
What?
initiative. Oh,
I got a
fuck
3. That's not
me.
very good. That's not very
Oh,
good.
no.
I think I got a 19
was a good
or
20.
like
That's a
Okay.
20.
20
Devin.
again?
Oh,
Oh,
come
man.
on.
20.
You
What
wanna
just
go
happened
first?
to me, guys?
This is why you need an effect so that we know what you're rolling.
Somebody
You're rolling
protect me.
good and nobody even knows it.
Somebody
We'll be back
protect
here.
me.
All right, and then we are going to roll a mysterious d20 for initiative
don't like
for
mystery.
the entity, and this current entity is rolling its initiative at a +10.
Jesus
What the
Christ. I
fuck?
knew this was a bad. I knew this was a bad idea.
Oh yeah,
Hey,
baby.
but I rolled like-
It rolled like shit, baby.
Okay, it's okay.
I rolled back,
Coming
baby.
It'll be coming in third in the turn order. And what you see in front of you, bursting out from the shadows of the door within, is none other than corruption and horror and eyes. As you are looking at a plighted spawn of history.
Oh,
Oh
jeez.
my god. Not like this.
I knew this was a
All
bad
right.
idea.
Why did we have to open the door? We
It
just,
was-
we just too nosy.
I had a feeling it was keeping something in.
Mm-hmm.
That's about to be the end, isn't it?
It comes screaming out. But Tavish, Epsilon, and Orlina, you're all ready to able to ready yourselves quickly before the combat begins, and as the creature comes out. So Tavish, you are first in our turn order. What would you like to do?
I am going to use... I'm actually going to use a skill. I'm going to use knowledge history to know what
Oh.
this creature might
Of course
be.
you are.
He looked at this thing and
Let's see
said,
it.
"What the hell is this?" That's
Okay.
a good ass roll.
Okay, though. So he's got a pretty good idea.
You
man
know
unlocked.
that these blighted spawns come from creatures, entities, things like that witness atrocities. That they see so much that they can't unsee the things, and it warps, it changes them until finally they are this unresembling, unblinking, unseeing, amorphous of what they once were. Usually, hardly sentient and a shell of their former life. It could have been something as simple as a butterfly who witnessed atrocity, but without studying the creature post-mortem, for now, that's all you know about it. You do know that they are particularly violent and deadly while they can view you. If they lose sight of their foes, though, they become much less potent. Though that is hard to do, as they have eyes covering the majority of their body.
Yeah.
And you have a combat action.
I do have a combat action?
Mhm.
Or is that...
That would
I'm
that
going
would take
to-
up your move, unless you. Or sorry, I'll put it this way: you have used a miscellaneous action, so you can use your other one as a combat or a movement. Up to you. And you can always force an action.
I would like to use Inspire as my action to inspire Epsilon
Oh.
to create a bright light to blind the creature.
Let's see it.
Okay.
All right, we will take that
All
into
right.
account on Epsilon's next roll. Epsilon, your turn, provided that Tavish does not want to force an action. All good, perfect.
The only thing I can
Epsilon.
think I can do is put myself in between the most of the party and it. Just
Oh, dear.
place me.
By the nature of where your hand had to be, you are front of the group currently.
Understood, then I would do nothing.
Epsilon, what we got?
I would do as instructed, and I just want to unsheath his sword, and he's just gonna hold it up, do a good old fucking, what's that guy's name? God damn it! Now I fucked my shit up.
It doesn't
God
matter. It's
damn.
fine. It's
I
fine.
know.
We have.
God
We
damn
got
it.
you.
By the power of
the
Grayskull
white-
looking ass, he's gonna fucking just emit a bright light from the sword.
He-Man.
He's like,
He-Man.
"Ah!"
Let's
Oh my
let's-
god.
Your crit range is increased to 16 because of...
Holy shit.
Don't even keep saying it. Don't even keep talking, man. Don't even keep talking. Just stop. Just stop there.
Does my Inspire do anything to help with that
he
mitigation?
said don't
or is it
even-
only
let me-
the
Not
Inspire, let me
to a
reroll.
nat 1. Not to a nat 1. The Inspire was increasing your crit range to 16, so a 16 would have counted as a natural 20. But with a nat 1, a blinding light erupts in all directions, way too bright and way too undirected. So Tavish, you will not be affected by this because you are in front of Epsilon. However, both Orlina and Sequoia, on your turns, you will have an increased crit failure of 4. So ones through 5 will count as 1. The crit is also blinded, but we'll get to that on its turn. And next up is Orlina.
It worked. Still.
Blinded as in it can't see, or like did it close all its eyeballs?
It is hard for you to tell, especially with your extra dark vision and your more sensitive eyes. This blinding light has you are just like your eyes are watering. You're not 100% sure what's going on. As Epsilon's just like, yeah, light!
Yeah, I was just thinking, he's like, he doesn't know anything that happened. He's like,
I'm
yeah, I
over here
fucking
like,
did that
look,
shit.
just
I did
because
that
I
shit.
Just because I can see in the dark don't mean that I'm sensitive to light. We ain't never said
They
that.
can't see.
But
They can't see shit.
fuck.
Well,
I
I'll put it
was
this way:
gonna try to-
with your increased comfortability in the dark, you are
Okay,
more
that's fair.
susceptible to
That's
light shifting violently.
That's fair. I'll accept that. Dang it! I was gonna try to shoot it in one of the eyeballs. I know
Well,
there's
yeah, look,
many,
it's
but
just-
I mean,
Its eyelids are just closed, so.
Get some
I-
some distance.
get some distance. I mean, I don't
Back up! He's just, ah!
I'm over here like I don't feel like the glaze will do a whole lot, but I feel like it's always worth a try.
Let's see it.
Get it with an arrow.
Plunk.
Yep. It's worth a try. Oh,
Woo!
And we're
Oh,
gonna
wait,
roll
what is
against
that?
its armor. We're gonna roll against its armor value real quick. So
Do I get anything
D10
for
plus
the-
its armor rating.
do I get anything for the bow?
Yes, you do have a +1 with your skills that you put in. You shoot and the arrow pierces. You have 2 points. One allows you to force an action. The first point gives you a +1. As the arrow punctures through one of the eyelids, the creature's tentacle writhes and wiggles. Would you like to force an
said-
action?
I want to do it again. Different eye.
Perfect. We're aiming for a different eye. This is a forced action, so this one is at a -2. Let's see it.
Okay.
Still not
An
bad.
18
Still
will
not bad.
definitely do it. In its state, even with a maxed armor rating roll, it could not beat it. So another arrow goes piercing into another one of its closed eyes, and again the tentacles writhe out and wiggle.
It's good.
Would you like to go again?
No, not again. Although I was doing pretty well.
The creature is going to make a attack roll at 1 second, sorry. Nope. So the creature is just going to lash out at Tavish, rolling its unmodified roll as it is currently not viewing its target. D20.
Damn.
Dang it.
Still a good roll.
Yeah.
But it doesn't get its increased crit range because you are not viewed currently. So let's roll an armor rating roll for Tavish.
It's good. Damn.
That's not good.
All right, Tavish, I'm going to need a sturdiness check for you as the tentacle comes swiping in on you, and you do have a 1 in this skill.
Swipe or no swiping.
Swipe or no swipe.
You stagger out. You stagger out, and you're almost knocked down to a knee, but you're able to like pull yourself back up. Your armor's taken kind of another dent to it. But that is it. And then Sequoia.
Okay, so where am I standing at in regards to like where everybody else is? Like, so I'm behind.
You're a little bit
behind
behind Epsilon. And like, so you're like 2-3 feet behind Epsilon, probably more like 8 feet behind Tavish.
Okay, and what is the room made out of that we're standing in?
There's in this room there's moss, there's water, there's dirt. Like, this is definitely more a side room rather than like the main stoned hallways.
Okay, so since I can feel like the earth beneath me, I want to let's kind of pull the dirt from the ground and try to like throw it into, and well, no, because the creature's eyes are already closed. So let's trying to see if there's any way that I can, like, if I could like use something to try to restrain the creature from coming out like closer.
Oh, you mean like vines?
Like vines. I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it.
We can always go back to the classic. Hey, look, if it ain't broke, don't
tree.
fix it. Do you want to go?
I was going to say, I'm surprised you didn't try to tree it, but
let's tree it. Let's tree it.
We're treeing it.
We're gonna tree it. Let's do it.
All right. Let's roll for a. Let's roll
bring
for
it back
a tree.
to Hadera's like.
Where a 5 counts as a 1. We're rolling.
Oh,
it's okay. It's okay. Oh, see, it wasn't a 5.
It wasn't a 5.
A tree does come up. Tavish, you have the thought, like, if that was like 3 feet more my direction, I would have just been catapulted into the air. But the tree does come up. It doesn't hit its like main body mass, but it comes up underneath some of the tentacles on the side, ripping off a whole swath of tentacles upon the left side of the creature's body.
Awesome.
Tavish, it is back to you.
I'm going to start going in and hacking at some of those tentacles to try and cut portions of the eyes off of its bodies. Since Sequoia's tree got the left side, I'm going to go for the right side.
Perfect. Let's see it. Attack roll from Tavish.
I learned it from my mama.
+2.
You have a +1, and then let's roll the armor rating for our monster.
He's gonna be like, I was just trying to help, guys.
You're able to lop one of the tentacles off, but the writhing of the creature makes it so it's difficult to get at their roots too much. Would you like to force an action?
I will force an action on it.
Wonderful. Let's see it.
Damn.
You have this moment where you're so happy you're pretty sure the party behind you is blind and can't see what's going on, as the creature, clearly on accident, just keeps dodging all your attacks. Like, you're like swinging this like flurry of attacks at all these tentacles, and yet you just slice and hit nothing the entire time that you're like bringing this your great sword around.
Activated Ultra Instinct on you.
Epsilon, wait, do you want to force a second action? He's thinking about it.
Oh,
yeah,
he's thinking about it.
I do.
Let's see it. We're seeing it. Let's roll it.
Okay. Okay.
It is a solid roll. Now this one is at a -4. But still, it is a very strong roll, as you're able to center yourself and then bring the blade back down, swiping across a few of the tentacles, lopping off even more of them. And Epsilon.
Thing look like at all phased by the lopping off
It's hard to tell the difference between its just normal like attacks and it writhing, but the tentacles do seem to be more like flopping up and down and around rather than like targeted at something.
And like, do I get the sense that this thing could actually die? Like we could actually kill it? Like, does this feel like terrible?
Wouldn't be something that you'd be able to like sense without like a roll if you wanted to maybe roll like.
Yeah, I'm getting ominous vibes basically is what I'm asking. Like this thing, like we're getting, you know what I mean? Like this thing, like we're doing well, but like this feels.
He's like, so what do you want to roll?
You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, you can roll a vague intelligence if you would like, or study monster.
I look over, I see my 0 and study monster.
Oh dear.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go ahead
Let's
and
see
roll
it.
that.
Study monster, untrained.
The heroes talk about this? Hell no.
They have not. You are
They
unfamiliar with this
not.
creature's anatomy or its like status within the natural or unnatural order.
All right, I want to just take like 5 steps away from everybody else, and then I just want to start preparing a fireball and just start like compressing it. I'm just gonna be like,
All right.
Tavish,
roll
you're gonna want to get away from there.
Let's get a roll for channeling up some magic.
Oh fuck.
Let me go ahead and re-roll that.
Get that mastery in there.
Let me go ahead and just. It
Holy
really just
fucking
said,
shit.
No!
It really just said no. It really just said no. Come on, bro.
It literally is just like, no, bro.
You take 6 steps back and you begin to like build up this fireball. And let's roll a calamity.
That's pretty good.
Okay.
It is good. It is relatively good for the party as far as calamity dice is being rolled. As you're like, Tavish, I'd take a couple steps back from that if I were you, and then you like look down to try to compress the spell, and you watch as like the core of the magic like splits as you like push unevenly, and it just erupts right then and there. You're sent flying backwards. You took 5 steps back, which puts you closer to Orlena and Sequoia.
No, I was saying away from them. That was the whole purpose.
Oh, so closer
to
closer to Tavish.
Whatever direction is not directly next to.
So it's closer to those two, or closer to Tavish, because they're like here and here. Tavish is here, so your guys are you are in the triangle of people.
Inside the triangle. I mean, it would be whatever. It'd be as far away from everybody as I could be, because that was the whole purpose of moving.
Yeah.
Whatever is equidistant, then
it would be the best you could do. The best you could do is closer to Tavish. That would be the least damaging that you could do, because you'd be furthest from the most amount of people.
You just fucking up Tavish today.
You're in a triangle, so if you move here, you're close to these two. If you move here, you're close to these two. So you can choose one person to just move to. Would Tavish be the person you choose?
Jeez.
I guess I'd be closer to Tavish, but I would like to proposition.
So
can I get a force on this?
Well, we're gonna resolve this first. But what would be the forced action you're looking to do?
So, I guess if I feel like once it feels like it's gonna explode, it's either contain or just shoot it off immediately. So
you know there's no containing it.
So then I guess, fuck me. Oh my god.
Oh god.
I'm just gonna try and fire that motherfucker off at like above the creature. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to blow up the man, so I'm gonna aim like up.
You're just gonna try to like shift as much as possible.
Yeah.
Let's see it. I'll humor this as a roll before this resolves. I'll humor this.
Oh,
Forced
gosh.
action.
It don't want me to roll. It don't want me to win. It don't want me to win.
So, you try to push the spell in. The core of the magic breaks. You try to force it up as much as possible, but the spell is already erupting. Tavish, you feel heat and fire as you're just pushed forward. Your whole metal, like you launch just belly first into the creature with the explosion as flames like rip around you. You can taste its charring flesh like in your helmet grill. As like it like chars and burns to the point where like you can't even like pull like your face like out from the creature. The creature itself is launched back into the room. Epsilon comes flying towards Orlina and Sequoia, who are also launched back by the spell, and I'm going to need a stalwart check from everyone in the party. Let's see here,
I
stalwart.
don't think I have do I?
It is a 1 for Orlina, a 3 for Sequoia, and 0 for the other two.
So I did
let's
pick
see.
it. I thought it seemed like a good one.
The game don't want me
I
to
wish
win.
it was that
That's all I'm
19
learning.
instead of the 12, but it's cool.
The game does
Right.
not want me to win.
So you are all launched in different directions. All of you survived this explosion. As
goody.
the 27 does on the 27 on the calamity does help it out. However, Orlina, your bag is burnt and singed and crisped to like no like to an unseeable amount. You like glance in it quickly in your state. The only thing that remains is what you acquired. All of your muffins, though, are burnt to ashes. Your quiver is also like the feathers of your arrows are like melted together and basically just a torch on your back that you have to like pull out and chuck to the side. Your bow is broken, the string aflame. Sequoia,
you.
you're off. Sequoia,
Come on
you're
now.
off to the side. You're desperately like trying to like put out like your robes, your cloth, like everything. Your bag is also burnt to nothingness. Rope, survival gear, all of that kind of stuff is just like gone completely. And actually, Tavish, you can tell like parts of your armor are just like the straps that were holding it on are gone completely as like you like press yourself from the creature, which blunted a lot of the physical fall as it lies motionless like in front of you, and as you pull yourself away from it, it like crumples and crumbles in this charred mess, but like vambraces and shin plates like just fall off because there's nothing to hold them onto your body. And you have to like pat out like burning like bits of your cloth, and you lose some of the layers of your clothes. And Epsilon, you are just laying back roasted. You have no eyebrows, like you are singed to oblivion. The inside of your hands are burnt to like crisp, like closing your fingers. You hear them like the skin crack. And you have to sit there like putting out fires and suppressing them on yourself as your whole body was caught ablaze.
And I ain't helping.
You can't. You don't have any more muffins.
Ever.
On
My helping
this,
to put the fire out.
you hear cries of help and screams of panic from the hallway that you haven't gone down.
Well, what can we do now? We're all like,
The creature's still moving around?
No, the creature
No,
is
it's
not
dead,
moving
lad.
at all.
You killed it.
It's beyond dead at this point.
Tavish
Callum-
gets himself up, brushes himself off as best he can, grabs his sword and looks to the others to see who's in fighting shape and who isn't, and trying to get himself ready for potentially another fight down this bloody hallway.
I have like a dagger and it smells like calamari in here.
Burt calamari.
So the party heads down
Oh.
the hallway.
Yep, let's
I
go.
get if there's nothing else
as-
to do in here, because I feel like
As
Well,
the
look.
party limps its way down the party, your materials burnt and destroyed. Weapons are definitely a wanted material. You make it down the hallway, and you see at the end of this hallway, on the farthest side, a bunch of goblins retreating away from you, and this woman standing there, and she screams out to you that like you may have bested me this time. My forces are in shambles, but trust me, you intrepid heroes, I will have my vengeance. As the creature that you see before you, goblins are running at behind her at her feet, and she's stepping backwards into the darkness, and she pulls her hands out, and you watch as stone withers and wood support beams give out, and they collapse, blocking off the tunnel ahead. And the two rooms that are left to the parties, left and right, are everything the goblins couldn't nab on their way out. It is a bunch of captives, humans and elves, a couple of orcs, just in their cells, screaming for help. And on the other side is what is left of the treasure room that the goblins couldn't pick up with their dirty little paws in their hands. It is not that much gold anymore, as they grabbed a lot of it, but you get the idea. As the party stands in this hallway, or in between these two rooms, you see that originally the goblins were meant to start some sort of sacrificial ritual here, but clearly the explosion and the ordeal in the room before scared them away from their posts, causing a retreat, as if potentially what the party was planning to do, or what the party did, was intentional and not accidental.
Hey, look at that! I'm a hero. I'm a fucking hero. Oh my god, Tavish might be naked now, but I'm a hero.
Still don't like you. I don't like you right now.
You burned all of our
Look,
I
belongings.
feel like someone should go over to the shiny things while we let people out, but that's just me.
And does anybody have a bag left?
Do I not have a
Not
bag,
at
or
the
do I
back.
But you have
still
hands.
the muffins left?
And look, you have
My bag
hands,
bag.
and look, now you have new friends.
I
Yes,
have
you do, for you, Epsilon, your bag is still intact, but it is strapless. You have to it's a clutch now. It's a very large, awkward clutch.
I want to use the one remaining rope that we have left available to us to tie my bag to me to go and then
Perfect.
go.
He makes his his bag back into a bag.
I'm gonna go start
That's
collecting
what I'm saying.
shit.
What do I?
So-
I thought you said only my muffins burned.
I mean, your bag took damage and burnt up, but the muffins were the things that were damaged to the point.
So
of
I can't
nothing.
carry. I probably can't carry anything else, but my muffins. Are gone.
You definitely couldn't carry a lot, but you can carry some.
Okay.
Okay. So the party, you're able to free the open up the cells and free the prisoners without issue. Again, you do see that there was clearly some sort of spike, they were going to be compressed and spiked in these cells, and there's this elaborate trough network of what you imagine their blood was supposed to flow down into the room where the Gorgon screamed at you from. But the goblins were too panicked to initiate the ritual. Tavish, while you are over in the room, you're able to collect a small assortment of items and gold, to which we will roll for at the preamble of the next session. But with all of these things said and done, and the party embarking on their journey back to Palumbi, this is where we will let this session come to a rest, and we will pick this up in due time as the story continues on, I believe, the 1st of May. Yes, the 1st of May will be the continuation of this. So the one thing we will do in our little our outro thing, actually, because I realize I'm going to need you to roll for the items, and I will do the reveal at the beginning of the next session, as that lets me get through all of that. So each party member gets to roll on our item table, and that will determine what you get. So we'll go in order. So Orlena, you are going to roll me a D10 first.
Okay.
And I do believe you have one of the rerolls. So yeah, you're gonna roll twice. So yeah, Orlena, you're gonna get a 3, and let me see that roll again. A 3 and a 4, and then a D20 twice.
Oh.
Left will be first. 10 and 8, and then that'll do that. And then Sequoia, same thing. 1d10, 1d20. 11. And then Tavish. 9 and 7. And then Epsilon. Perfect. And then last but not least, we will roll a D30 for the amount of gold that the party will have to split between themselves at the beginning of the next session.
Cool. Oh.
6.
Very
All right,
nice.
26 on
So
30.
close.
Very nice. Very close.
All right. And the last of the things we need to go over on our little intro is the fact that the party has hit their next milestone. So there will be a whole bunch of fun announcements coming into the beginning of the next session for what items the party just got, and on top of that, what their next milestone is. But until the conclusion of the story and the party going back to Palumbi to explain how everything went, we will see you again. That is going to be the 1st of
May
1st. May 1st. Until then, you have a great time. Thank you for watching, and bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Woo!
Yay!
We did it. We survived.
We're still alive. We're
Still
Not by the
alive.
efforts of every single person in this room who tried to kill us more often than not, but we survived.
Nah, I saved us. You gonna get turned to stone by that Gorgon. She gonna turn somebody to stone.